They don't even like us over here.
Yo,
They don't even like us over here.
I didn't know. Like, this is the craziest. Like, this every once in a while, I hear some of the craziest takes I've ever heard in my life.
That's not even crazy. There's a lot of people that feel the same way I feel.
This absolutely is probably the craziest take I've heard in a very long time.
Hold, rewind. Hold,
With
pause.
somebody who was not drunk.
Pause. Wait, time out. Stay. You hear this man?
What?
This man said that Marshall Faulk is his GOAT of all running backs at one point. Are you serious?
I didn't say Marshall Faulk.
No, I'm sorry, Marshawn Lynch. My bad.
Yes,
it's even worse. So you're telling me that I have an outlandish take based on saying that I'm from New Jersey, so I'm going to root for a Jersey team regardless.
You're from South Jersey, though.
I'm Jersey. I get it. I understand it. I really do.
Hold on. How many Devils games have you been to in your life?
Been to 0. Jersey.
Why are we doing
Jersey?
this?
Jersey. Yo, welcome to Jack of All Trades podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. This is episode 7. And you know we got the 3 trios, man. You know what I mean? The Amigos. Got my boy Tom. What's the deal, brother?
What's going on?
And you got my man Stan, bro. What's happening?
Flyered up. And I know the names of the players. We're not gonna be one of those.
Listen, don't get me in line. Yo, shout out to the Flyers, though. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, I root for the Flyers, but since New Jersey doesn't really have a team, I know this may sound sacrilegious or like it's crazy. I'm cheering for the Devils in New Jersey. I don't care.
No.
I know. I don't care. I get it. I get it.
You going with the Devils?
They're New Jersey.
Yeah, but I mean, are we just now just Jersey over everything?
I get it, bro. I was rooting for the Nets when they were here. I root for the Sixers too, but I also root for the Nets. I root for Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? When they playing, I don't root for Brooklyn now. I root for Nets now. You know what I'm saying? But listen. Like, I gotta do something. I gotta something. We don't have nothing in New Jersey, bro. We have nothing in New Jersey. What? We have nothing in New Jersey. But the Devils
got 6 Flags in Jackson.
You had nothing in the shore. In the shore in the summertime.
Yo, the Devils, though?
Bruh, it's only because it's New Jersey. That's the only reason. I know that it's up north.
I know get it.
Doesn't even
at a certain point. At a certain point, we get older and we throw away old ways. You have to. It's just a learning process. You know, you didn't know what you didn't know.
South Jersey's like a suburb for Philly, though, and North Jersey's like a suburb for New York.
Listen,
in the regionally,
I understand what you're saying.
I'm trying. Listen, I'm trying to help you. When the Flyers fans, when they come out and they hear you say that you're a Devils fan, I can't protect you. That's all I'm trying to say.
Devils fan?
It's all good. It's okay. I don't need protection. It's New Jersey. You understand? But to your point,
I don't understand. This is why I don't understand. This is why I don't understand, right?
But to your point,
we go back to the Broad Street Bullies. We go back to the '80s. The Flyers used to hang out in Jersey all the time, right there in the bar in what was it, Audubon and shit. They used to hang out in the bar.
I get it.
The Flyers was always in Jersey.
The proximity, the region. I understand it. I understand.
How are you a Devils fan?
I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not really a Devils fan. I just cheer like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead because they from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? If they in a position like they're winning, okay, let's go. They Jersey. You feel me? That's just I get it. And I knew the type of fire I was walking into. I understand.
What?
But however, Thomas, hold up.
This is how we starting off. Or this is how we starting off.
Wait. I feel offended that you offended.
Are we going?
That's how I feel right now. Because you making all these scrunchy faces and you over in LA right now. Yeah, you see what you're saying?
And I get paid money.
That's what
but does it make a difference?
Bro, you already know where I'm going with this. I'm not trying to revisit that. But listen, like I said, I understand.
This is why this doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't make sense, brother. I understand.
Okay,
I really do.
Make sense.
I know it. I know it doesn't make sense.
But why though? Like, are you just saying Jersey over everything?
Because it's Jersey. Yeah, I gotta put on for something. I ain't from Philly.
But you got on the Sixers hat right now.
Yeah. So, but listen, we don't have a basketball team. We had one. I did root for the Nets at one point because they're from Jersey. Like,
So
y'all
when
don't
the
care
Jets
about
played in Jersey, were you a Jets fan?
who? The Jets or the Nets?
The Jets. Back in the day, the metal in the early days.
What, the Jersey Generals?
New Jersey Jets. Were you a Jets?
When Herschel Walker played for the Jersey Generals?
Yo, were you?
Heck no.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Heck no. Heck no. I didn't even understand. I didn't really I really understand AFL. I was an NFL guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when the NFL came into, like, when I started knowing about football, it was an NFL thing. There was no Herschel Walker was on the Cowboys. Herschel Walker played for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I never really watched the AFL at all. I didn't watch the Jersey Generals.
The Meadowlands was in New Jersey.
I understand that, and the Giants
Jets
play there.
and the Giants
And the Jets play there, but they're
So
not.
you-
But they're not New Jersey teams. They're New York teams.
But they
They
played.
just
in
play in Jersey. But
So-
but there was
So-
a New Jersey's Jets team. I mean, not Jets, Nets team, right? And there's also currently a New Jersey Devils team. And I understand the region. This is the greater Philadelphia area. I understand everyone from South Jersey root for Philadelphia, everything. I get it. But at some point, when do we stop being the little brother to Philadelphia? They don't even like us over here.
Yo,
They don't even like us over here.
I didn't even know this is the craziest. Like this, every once in a while, I hear some of the craziest takes I've ever heard in my life.
That's not even crazy. There's a lot of people that feel the same way I feel.
This absolutely is probably the craziest take I've heard in a very long time.
Oh, rewind.
With somebody who was not drunk.
Pause. Wait, time
somebody
out.
who was not
Time out.
drunk.
Time out. Stan, you hear this man?
What?
This man said that Marshall Falk is his goat of all running backs at one point.
I
Are you
said-
serious?
I didn't say Marshall Falk.
I'm sorry, Marshawn Lynch. My bad.
Yes.
It's
I
even
said
worse.
Marshawn Lynch. You gotta
So
get that right.
so you're telling me that I have an outlandish take based on saying that I'm from New Jersey, so I'm going to root for a Jersey team regardless.
You're from South Jersey, though.
I'm Jersey. I get it. I understand it. I really do.
Hold on. How many Devils games have you been to in your life?
Been to 0. Jersey.
Why are we doing
Jersey.
this?
Jersey.
Yo.
Jersey.
Yo, this is wild.
Jersey.
Okay. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna need you to show up with New Jersey shit on for the duration of the year.
I cop a Jersey, John. I cop a
This
Jersey.
is
I
crazy.
cop a Jersey,
I'm
John.
trying to.
Oh, by the way,
I had to.
I really want
interject
to. I really am
because
looking for a throwback Nets jersey.
the Nets.
by the way,
I don't know the
one of
history with them. Yeah,
I was go ahead, Stan.
I don't know the history with the Nets and the Sixers, but I'm trying to tell you the history with the Flyers and the Devils. Mortal enemies.
I get
Going
it.
back to Marty Brodeur.
But here's
when
also
I'm trying to help you. Stop. They were the reason why the
Yeah.
Flyers didn't win a
It's
few
over.
chips in the early 2000s
that's fine.
in the Lindros years. So like when you
But here's the
say
thing.
you're a Devils fan, is there's a reason why the Sixers
not
owner
really-
Josh Harris, right? Listen.
Right.
The Sixers owner Josh Harris owns the Sixers and he owns the Devils and he owns the Commanders. So, but him owning one, he owns one of the Eagles' arch enemies. 2, he owns the Sixers, which is fine. While at the same time owning the Devils, which is a Flyers' arch enemy. So he has 2 teams out of 3 that are arch enemies of Philadelphia
This boy
sports.
Thanos. Call him Thanos.
That's why I'm saying it's like the Nets. I get. I don't think we really had no beef with them. And when they had Kidd and all of them, I was like, yeah, I hope they win. I hope they beat the Lakers, whoever they're playing. But the Devils, I'm trying to walk you back from a dark road because you don't know the history.
But here's the thing, Stan. I hear what you're saying, and I respect the history part. But here's the thing. I really can't say I'm a fan of the Flyers or the Devils anyway. Why? Because I don't watch hockey. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I say I support, I'm rooting for a team, it's just for the simple fact, familiarity, and again, Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And also being from South Jersey, which is the greater Philadelphia area, the Flyers. I understand it. I get it. but I'm not heavily invested. You know what I'm saying? I never played NHL. I haven't played NHL hockey since the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
You know how you can walk down the street and there's a shootout and you're not part of it, but as soon as you put up the red flag, they assume you're going to be a blood. This is what this is going to be for
down.
you.
Where you from?
this is what it's going to be for you, saying that. Oh yeah, I ain't really into hockey, but I like the Devils.
I'll be all right.
You're going to get
I'll be all right.
crucified.
I'll be all right, dude. I walk around in Philly with my Cowboys jersey on. I'm good. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I forgot.
This is crazy, yo.
Where
your mama stay at? Where your daddy from? Where your grandmama? Where your grandmama?
He said, "Look who you talking to,
at?
man." He's like, "I'm straight. Like you see me."
You feel me? Like, shoot, I don't. Again,
yo.
But again, that's hockey though. You feel me? Like that's hockey. Now, if you ask me being a Phillies fan, right? But then say I go ahead and root for the Atlanta Braves or root for the Mets, then by all means stone me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing that. I don't even, bro. I don't even. Yeah. Here's the thing.
How'd you
with baseball
at the New Jersey Devils? Like
I'm past that,
how
bro.
you arrived there though. Like it was just crazy.
Bro, it's Jersey. I've been that thug.
I mean,
from Jersey.
you're not even like so. You're not really a hockey fan. You just chose a team. Like I don't know how this works. And the only reason why I say this is because if you look at our time, right, we're in proximity, right? You got Eric Lindroses, you got the Ron Hextalls, you got, you know what I mean, all these legends that was around, you know, that you saw on TV because we got the Flyers games on television. Mm-hmm. So to arrive at you a New Jersey Devils fan is crazy because you don't even see it. So what I learned was there's a lot of Eagles fans out here is because the Eagles games always used to show as the early game out here. So that's why you see a bunch of Eagles fans here in LA. Mm-hmm. I don't know. How many Devils games have you even seen on television?
I don't know. I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old now, dog. Like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, you had 40 years to watch a New Jersey Devils game.
Yeah, I know I watched a few, but again, like I'm not heavily invested in hockey anyway. I barely watch the game. But I'm saying, but the fact is Jersey. I'll be honest. Anything coming out of Jersey, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to support because the simple fact is Jersey. Jersey doesn't get a lot of respect for a lot of different things anyway. You feel me? Like, everyone takes out basketball players. Everyone takes out football players. They go be great other places. We're not really respected in far as sports-wise. Everybody talks about Georgia.
Legend.
I get it, but everyone talks about Georgia. Everyone talks about Texas. Everyone talks about Florida. So I'm a big up Jersey, regardless. If we had a football team in Jersey, although I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, I root for the football team in Jersey if we had one. I'm a diehard Michigan Wolverines fan, but I'm putting on for Rutgers. I'm sorry.
One of the good brothers that watched the podcast said he glad you took that Cowboys shit off too, by the way. I did not say that. That's not me.
Who said that?
He just said recently. I'm not saying no names, bro.
He's probably one of the dudes from the Instagram. I'll put that back on next week. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll be back next week. Blued up.
Back, man.
Yo.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
We know.
But anyway. But since we talk about hockey and I guess Thomas' disdain for me for I guess double dipping, I guess. That? I don't know. He'd be all right. I mean, Thomas, I'm upset about a lot of things that you do with sports, but it's okay.
Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
Stan, by all means, tell us about the Flyers. Talk to us, bro.
Just the intro. We just whatever.
We both offended. Bro, you got the audacity to be offended right now, bro.
The audacity.
Your audacity right now.
You're bringing out school words.
Freaking Rams and Dodgers. Are you serious right now?
They win.
Anyway, Stan, go ahead, bro. Talk about my brain just like short-circuited for a moment.
You're a Devils fan. Stan,
it's all right.
Come on. Stan, bring us something.
Come on, Stan. How did our Flyers do?
Our Flyers did excellent, man, and let's talk about the team we're playing. The Flyers and Penguins, outside of maybe the Flyers and the Bruins, is one of the most heated rivalries in the NHL. It's up there with the Eagles and Cowboys for comparison purposes. And to me, Sidney Crosby over the past 10 years or so has been like Emmitt Smith or Deion Sanders against the Eagles during their prime. Like you respect him because he's a Hall of Fame player, but he's the type of guy you want to smack in the face if you were playing against him. Like absolute highly skilled, but looking to start stuff at every point he can. And I put up a story before game 1, which we whooped their ass in. And one of the things he said in the playoff series, like when Giroux and them were playing, was he pushed somebody's glove across the ice. One of the Flyers players had dropped their glove, and when they went to pick it up, he pushed it away with his hockey stick. And a reporter asked him, "Why'd you do that?" He said, "I just don't like them." And he said, "Why don't?" He said, "I just don't like them." It's like any chance I get, more or less, I'm going to be a prick. But I like that. Like it creates for a great storyline, great rivalry. You don't actually hate people, literally, but like as soon as you put that jersey on site, as it should be. And you have this Penguin team with Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid, Evgeny Malkin. Those are the two main figureheads that are left there. They kind of have like 1 or 2 years left to try to get another Stanley Cup. And this Flyers team, which is year after year, when we've played them in the playoffs, we have not been able to beat them. Like we've had very highly competitive series. We had the one series where Claude Giroux in the first minute came out and body checked this dude and then scored a goal. But ultimately, we could never get past them. And you have a young Flyers team, which nobody expected to make to the playoffs. I mean, I just thought this was maybe year 2 or 3 into the rebuild, was not expecting to go to the playoffs at the halfway point. And then all of a sudden, from the All-Star break, I think, on to the playoffs, we've been the first or second best team in terms of points scored in the NHL. So like they really turned it on because you have young players like Matvei Mishkov, who, although we hope he's gonna be the one, he's been a little up and down, but the ceiling's still there. And then you have this new kid, Porter Martone. This dude's a killer, and he showed it last night. We were up 2-1 in the game after it might have been Sam High's goal in the second one, but that third goal. He's a sniper. The dude's only 19 years old. He's had 10 points in 9 games. That's almost like trying to put it in relative terms. A point is a goal or an assist. So whether you're scoring the goal directly or whether you're assisting, giving a quote unquote alley-oop to your teammate so they can put the puck in the net, that's considered a point. So to have 1 point per game, that's very, very good, especially if your plus minus is really good, like you're scoring goals, but you're not turning the puck over. This dude, as a rookie, first 9 games of his career, you have 10 points. That's some serious shit right there, man. And then he comes into the playoffs and in Pittsburgh, on the road, puts the dagger in their hearts and has that whole crowd silent. That crowd, after Evgeny scored the goal to tie it 1-1, they thought they were back in it. And then we scored 2 unanswered goals and shut them up. And then at the end of the game, Vladar, our goalie, the guy that he was trying to figure out if he could even stay in the league a year or 2 ago, and flipped his whole career around this season, stops a shot attempt right near the end of regulation in the third period. This Flyers team is young, they fast, they're not enamored or scared of the Penguins, like the mystique. They don't give a fuck about that. They just here to be physical and get these goals. And they showed it in game 1. And I think now the Penguins know, as PK Subban and Mark Messier were saying on the post game, the Penguins know they're going to have to play the A+ game to beat this team. They're not scared of you. They're not enamored by Sid the Kid and Malkin and all y'all did. No, we coming in here to beat y'all head in, man. So it's been quite the turnaround, and I was highly impressed. And it was quite the contrast to the Sixers game the other day.
Bro,
the Sixers are ridiculous. We're not even gonna get into the Sixers. 30-point loss earlier today. Trash. Just trash. Embiid, appendicitis. He's literally allergic to the playoffs. Right. So this is what we got to deal with. But as far as the Flyers go, the Flyers been building that team.
Yeah.
So I remember I went to a Flyers Kings game 2 years ago, year ago, whatever. That young team they strong and they got a good solid base. And like you said, the defense, their defensemen, they be going in.
Yeah,
So,
and I really want to.
That team got a ways to go.
Yeah, I think you made a very good point, and that goes back to the young players. These are guys that were just drafted 2, 3, 4 years ago, and they're solidifying faster than I think people anticipated. And like I said, Michkov. I made a maybe a video 2 or 3 years ago. Michkov and Porter Martone. Hopefully they can bring us back to the days of Lindros and Lindros, John LeClaire, Rod Brindamore. Back when people don't remember this time in Philadelphia sports, there was a time where the Philadelphia Phillies were. Yeah, listen. The Phillies were dreadful. They were damn near barely a baseball franchise at that point. The Sixers had just gotten Iverson. They were hot garbage. The Eagles, coming on the downside of the Ray Rose years, starting to become trash. So like the Flyers, even people that wasn't Flyers fans, they had a Lindros jersey. Like at no other time would you see everybody, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whoever, wearing hockey jerseys in Philadelphia, because it was like that. So hopefully this brings us back to those days, because I think that the Eagles and the Flyers are now the two teams with a championship window. The Sixers, we don't know. The Phillies, they seem like more of the same every year. They don't change nothing. The Flyers, all of a sudden, boom. They're not just exciting this year, but you can see they're not just going to be in the playoffs the next 4 or 5 years possibly, but they're only getting better. So
the Lindros jersey, not to cut you off, but the Lindros jersey was iconic, right?
Yeah.
So when you had the Lindros jersey, that said everything. I mean, dude had many concussions. It was crazy to compare the concussion now as like what Tua got going on, as many times that he gets knocked in the head and his brain starts rattling around. With hockey right now, you got your top teams, right? And the one team that's always surprised me, is Las Vegas. How the Vegas Knights have done what they've done consistently over the years since they came into the league has been insanity, yo. They make it to the playoffs every year. They win Stanley Cups. They just be getting it. And they started with a bunch of old guys who they've written off. And so it's very impressive what that franchise has done through and through. But yeah, the Flyers time is coming back around. You know, sports is always cyclical for the most part. So that's what always makes it interesting. The Sixers have squandered multiple draft picks, have disappointed everybody, and Joel Embiid should have left 5 years ago. And I don't see the Sixers doing anything in the near future at all. As far as the Phillies go, just to, you know what I mean? Because I see Maul over there. I want to say something so bad. But, as far as the Phillies go, Phillies ain't going nowhere neither. They got Schwarber, which is a home run monster, right? And they got Mr. Harper, who, and I hope this might get back to him. The Nationals won because he was not there. Like, simply as that.
You really think it's because of that? Because of Bryce Harper?
It's because of Bryce Harper, yo. It's because of Bryce Harper, yo.
You got to double down on that. Why? He's not
a cancer to the team. I won't say he's a cancer, but what I will say is, for as much as he gets paid and as the role that he should play, his leadership ain't there. And that's why. It's not that he's not a great player. He's a fantastic player. He does what he needs to do. He's kind of iffy in the clutch, right? But the fact of the matter is, he's been in the league now so long that he should be the staple in the locker room to lean on when things go wrong. Like if you need a single to get on base to get it going, or if you need, you know what I mean, to lay down a bunt down the third baseline to get it pushing, he should be that guy. He's not. He goes up there and swings for the fences, and half the time he strikes out.
Yeah.
He don't know how to play small ball,
Yeah.
right? And it's always been about him, because if you go back to when he was 17 years old and he was like, I don't even want to finish high school because all I want to do is play baseball. I love that drive. But even off that drive, you got to have some common sense with it too on a baseball field. Baseball is one of those games where it's not only about hand-eye coordination, it's about mental, right? It's definitely about the statistics, whether left or right batting, left or right pitching. They don't allow to shift like they used to anymore. But with baseball, it is an absolutely strategic game. And Schwarber plays the game strategically, but whereas Harper comes into the game and he plays the game like you playing Battleship, the little game Battleship. You just shooting missiles in the border. And that's what he does, and that's how he plays the game, and that's why the Phillies ain't going nowhere.
Stan.
I think I would agree halfway with you. I think that the leadership, that is a legitimate question. I think he's shown great leadership for the most part, and then there are times where he hasn't, if we're just being honest. Whether it be the contract negotiations or whether it be last year. I think last year was the first time where we saw him not show up in the clutch. Along with some of the other players, him and Schwarber just went cold. But the other years, Bryce was doing what he's supposed to be doing. Even this year, I mean, his OPS is slugging percentage plus on base percentage. So how much you get on base, OBP, plus your slugging percentage, how many doubles, triples, and home runs you're hitting. And his OPS is 900. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. And the other day I was watching the game against the Braves. He went 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 and had a single or maybe 2 singles at a point where when you needed a base runner, he got on base. And then other guys aren't pulling through. Now, that being said, when you're getting questions in the media, it can't be, oh, well, I'm doing my job. I don't know what the other guys are doing. That's not leadership, man. It's not about that. It's about taking the bullets, whether when the times are bad. The same thing with the quarterback in football. You get the praise when you're winning, and when things go wrong, even if it wasn't your fault, you take the bullets for it. It's just the way it goes. But I see the Phillies' problem being more of an issue of them not building around him properly in a similar way as the Sixers didn't build around Iverson properly. And to go back to the Nationals point, I think that is another valid point you make about leadership. They were going to win that the year after he left. They were set up to win regardless of whether he stayed or not. If he stays, I see them winning a chip. If he leaves, I see them winning a chip.
Right.
But your point still stands valid, though. Would he have had long-term success with the Nationals with whatever attitude problems they may have been coming up in the media? We don't know. I think that people that are Bryce Harper fans, including me, have to be honest. Yeah, he could be a all-time great. He could have the bedlam at the bank, like a couple years ago when we were playing the Padres, and when you needed a hit in the 8th inning, I think, you're down a run or two, and the biggest swing of your life, you send that shit to left center, somewhere around that point, and that's what all-time players do. When you needed it the most, he didn't just give you the lead. He gave it to you in style and sent you to the World Series. And that being said, I think the equation is there is blame to be given to Bryce versus the team. The question is, what's the percentage? Because when I look at this Phillies team, you can't have Bryce hitting in the 3 or the 4 spot, and then you have a guy like Alec Bohm batting after him, theoretically, who's hitting under 200, possibly hitting under 100 right now. I didn't check his stats lately, but he's horrific at the plate. And you have Castellanos last year who's swinging at sliders that are all the way across the Mississippi River out in the middle of the U.S. Like they're not even close to Philly, yet let alone in the area code of home base. So I think that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. They don't have the proper hitters around Schwarber and Harper, right? How can Schwarber really be? How can you maximize Schwarber or Harper's talent when I know nobody else can hit around you? So I'm just gonna walk you. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm gonna walk you and then go after the scrubs and strike them out, and we're gonna reset this thing each time the lineup goes through. So I think there's merit to what you say. I just think that the unknown is how much falls on Harper and Schwarber's shoulders and Trey Turner's shoulders versus the rest of the lineup, because the pitching staff is doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, Chris Sanchez, Wheeler when he comes back, even Painter is a young pitcher. He's going to have his ups and downs, but you have something there. And then you have Luzardo. It's really the hitting, the inconsistency. They as a collective, and not so much Harper, they can't play small ball. And when you get to the playoffs, now instead of having a high-quality pitcher every 3 to 4 starts, you're getting a high-quality pitcher every 1 to 2 starts, and you're not going to get on base by walking. And I know this is a tangent, but this is kind of a message to the Moneyball people out there. On-base percentage is a good stat, but it's useless in a vacuum if you don't know how to get on base by putting the ball in play for singles once you get to the playoffs, because you're not going to get the same looks, you're not going to get the same pitches, you're not going to have guys missing location, you're going to have to put the ball in play. This is the reason why the Athletics of the early 2000s, who made Moneyball famous, could not win, because once they got to the playoffs and got against the more talented teams roster-wise, or more or teams that had guys that could hit to get on base and better pitching. That's why the Derek Lowe game happened. Yeah, all that Moneyball talk is good, guys getting on base that can't play defense, but when you face a guy like Derek Lowe who's striking everybody out, and now you have to hit it, get on base, cooked. So, a lot of questions. So people in the comments, let us know what you think.
Nah, I'm a double down on that, bro. Yo, Trey Turner, all-star. Kyle Schwarber, all-star. Bryce Harper, all-star, right? You got 3 all-stars on your team. It's only 9 batters. So my thing is this, right? So basically in each rotation of the hitting order, you'll have, somebody that can hit the ball, right? Management may be a problem, but I think the Phillies manager is a good manager, to be honest with you. I'm a double down on the leadership, yo. I'm a double down on the leadership because, and then I'll even take it a step further, right? So if Juan Soto, right, could win a World Series championship on the Washington Nationals, and this man on the Mets is basically, he's very inconsistent. He's all over the place. Who knows what the Mets are even doing? Second highest payroll in baseball, right? And they're right now they're struggling, but I will give them credit. Few guys are hurt, but they're struggling big time. And my thing is this: is that if that's able to happen in Washington, right? When they only had at that time, they only had 2 ace pitchers, right? And so my thing is with that, I don't think Bryce Harper's the guy. 13 years, a bunch of money. You're not going to win nothing. Simple as that. It'll be a long road. And then maybe after that, you got an opportunity to win. But it's just as simple as that. It's gonna be brutal. I mean, you saw what happened last season. I mean, they were fighting. It came down to the throwing the ball basically into the backstop when all you had to do is throw the ball forward into the catcher. It is what it is, but it's not gonna happen for the Phillies. And the NL East, my pick to come out the NL East this season is the Braves.
Yeah, I agree.
Who we got up next?
But I would give pushback when a guy has a career OPS of 900. I don't care leadership be damned at that point. It's not necessarily about trying to think of the proper way to frame this. When you have somebody playing that well and you're not able to get further than what you're getting, I'm not saying that you don't need leadership to win at the highest levels, not at all. But for them to fail as spectacularly as they have is beyond just whether Bryce is a leader. Even if let's say Bryce is not a leader hypothetically, right? And let's say in an alternate world he was the perfect leader. It wouldn't matter the way this team is constructed. And I go back to Iverson. That's actually a really good case study, right? Because people would say, although he was pound for pound one of the best players, not just at that time, but that we've ever seen, period, he wasn't always the best leader. He didn't come to practice on time. He would go out and party and come in to practice late. You know, he wouldn't be professional in the way he always carried himself. But when he got onto the court, one of the biggest dogs that we've ever seen. And with Bryce, all I can talk about is production wise. They should be better than where they're at. And you look at the lineup around them, if you don't have somebody who's competent to hit either after you or before you to get on base, you're going to have problems in any lineup. So,
well,
like,
I think that's what Thomas. I think that's what Thomas is saying. Like, the leadership aspect. Like, why aren't you getting? You know what I'm saying, talk to your teammates and talk about these situational performances. Like, the issues with the Phillies is just not. It really goes down with leadership with him, because Bryce Harper, with how much money he's getting paid, he should be the ones talking, you know what I'm saying, to these players. I mean, it's not even just really the baseball, but even on defense, the lackadaisical, I'm sorry, I guess their lazy effort, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive side. Like, bro, like, they're not really earning, you know what I'm saying, like, these runs that they're getting. You know what I'm saying? And it's just showing, I don't know, I just see the effort on the field. It just looks lazy to me. That's just my opinion.
I think, and that's the unspoken. That's what's unspoken that we don't know, because we're not in the locker room. Like, it's not like we have, like, the way that we hear about, like, with the Eagles, for example, you hear this coming out about AJ Brown, or this coming out about how Jalen Hurts is having this spat back and forth with AJ or something, like, or Donovan with T.O. What, we don't have that with the Phillies locker room. Like, it's the most we have is Bryce can be overbearing in a similar way that Michael Jordan was, where he's just abrasive, like get this done. I'm not caring about being nice, right? Now some people respond to that, and then other people are like, I'm a grown man, don't talk to me like that. That's the only piece of information I really have to be able to say I have to question your leadership in the way that you approach people, and do you have favoritism to certain players like JT Realmuto, and you don't have favoritism to guys like Castellanos. I don't know the answer to that, and that's fair. But without that context, then it's hard to question the leadership, unless there's like examples or scenarios where it's been said either by confirmed or unconfirmed sources that he's not doing A, B, C. Because when I see him go out on the field over the past 8, 9, 10 years he's been with the Phillies, the dude's far exceeded his contract, far exceeded coming up in the clutch situations. And the one that, again, that stands out is the one against the Padres, right? That's a moment that, in other years, that's when Philadelphia fails in those clutch moments, when we don't get the big hit. Like, without, that's a Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard moment. Those are the moments that we weren't having when that squad got old. Those are the moments we weren't having in the mid 2010s. And if anything, if Bryce Harper doesn't come here, we're not even a relevant franchise. So although I think it's important when you see somebody not doing what they're supposed to do, call them out despite all the great moments they've had, despite whether you're like a Bryce Harper fan, you got the jersey and the headband and all that. Like, when you see fuck shit, call it out. But when he's doing his job, we got to be fair too. And just from my perspective, him and Kyle Schwarber, the main two reasons this team is afloat outside of the pitching. Trey Turner, even last year, I like Trey Turner, but in the playoffs, he cannot hit a slider to save his life, and he bites on sliders like no tomorrow. And it boggles my mind because I always viewed him as that 300 average hitter from the Nationals and the Dodgers, and he just has not been that with the Phillies consistently. Now, what I will say is a Trey Turner, he's gotten his defense to be elite out of nowhere because he was one of the worst fielders in 2023 or 24, and then by switching to catching ground balls with his backhand, then all of a sudden he becomes an elite fielder. So Trey Turner, if anything, the Trey Turner that was playing with the Nationals, I don't know if he got a ring with them or not. That was the Trey Turner we thought we were getting, right? So kind of like going back to the Nationals issue, that team was going to win regardless. That's not to say that Bryce was a great leader or he wasn't. I'm just saying that the two aren't correlated. That core was already set up. But the questions come with Bryce Harper and then Trey Turner. And then even if you look at Kyle Schwarber, you're getting 50 home runs in a year, and then you get to the playoffs and you looking at 1, 2, 3, strike 3, sit down. Where's the leadership there? You got a ring with the Cubs. Well, you know, I'm not saying that to bash Kyle Schwarber. I'm just trying to make a play devil's advocate. It's not their fault. They have some blame, sure, but most of the blame I look at Dave Dombrowski, the GM for the Phillies. He has been asleep at the wheel for quite some time while the Dodgers, while the Braves, while the Nationals, while the Mets have all gotten better. That's the real issue in my eyes. Just like Billy King was the issue for the Sixers when Iverson was there. Like you have, Mutombo's cool. Yeah, George Lynch is cool. Yeah, Tyrell Hill is cool. But that's not going to win you a ring when you play facing Kobe and Shaq. And the fact that you got one game.
Pat Croce and Allen Iverson not getting along was the issue.
That's what I was about to say, man. Like, hold up.
Pat Croce and AI was the issue.
Pat Croce.
That was the problem there, bro.
No, AI was not the issue, bro.
Pat Croce and AI's beefing was the issue.
Oh, their beef. But I'm put that on Pat Croce more than AI. He the franchise player.
You could put it on both of them.
Didn't Pat Croce pull for AI to stay here when they tried to trade him? It was Larry Brown that had the issue with AI the most, not Pat Croce, right? Pat Croce actually advocated for him.
Well, then Larry Brown, but
I thought it was Pat Croce too, but
I can double check. But I thought it was Larry Brown. I thought Pat Croce actually pulled for him.
I said Pat Croce. It
was Larry Brown. It was Larry Brown. It was Larry Brown. It was Larry Brown.
But still, it was the issue. And you know, AI and Jerry Stackhouse, they had the issues with each other, and they couldn't stand each other to save their life. But if they could have made that work, that team would have been crazy. That team would have been solid as hell.
They put their players around him.
The same situation. You can't. I can't. Exactly. I'm about to say the same thing. Like you got to blame the GM for not putting the team in a situation. I was going to ask the question, like, okay, like. We look at the Phillies, but what's the difference between the Phillies and the Dodgers? You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at the Dodgers baseball team, bro, you guys are loaded. From top to bottom.
I mean, you still got to hit the ball.
Yeah, you guys are loaded. And you guys got pitchers.
But the thing is, that team was built over time. And so this goes back like many, many years, right? Because the Dodgers would make it to the playoffs. They would win the pennant all these years, and they would get to the playoffs and just start failing. So it's not until recently when winning in COVID year 20 and now 24, 25 back to back. But before that, the Dodgers would win pennants and just lose to anybody. It wasn't like it was a specific team they were struggling with. It was to anybody.
Yeah.
And the issue was it was some management, but overall it was still leadership. Like with any team, it's leadership. Like Kershaw, honestly, was like the solid leader for many years on the Dodgers, but Kershaw wasn't enough to get him over the top. Almost the same way like a Bryce Harper is not enough to get the Phillies over the top, right? It's not that. Now, why you start winning? Because you got Shohei Ohtani, right? But Shohei, think about this. Shohei, Mike Trout, in Anaheim the whole time, the two best players in MLB, and they can't get anything done. I mean anything. Like, they can't even get the playoffs. They can't even get to the playoffs, right? The two best players in the Major League Baseball. So you got that, and then so he goes to the Dodgers and all of a sudden he explodes? No. It's because the Dodgers farm system. The Dodgers farm system is strong as hell, right? Like, you take a Will Smith, right? Comes up through the farm system, solid. You take an Andy Pages. Pages, when he first came to the Dodgers out the farm system, was trash. I mean, he was struggling all over the place. Teoscar still can't catch a baseball to save his life. And I mean, sure, we get Freddie Freeman from Atlanta. You know what I mean? Solid first baseman, and obviously Mookie Betts from Boston, right? So we've been building for a long time, and any other team could have been building as well too. But somehow, teams in baseball are trying to get players and bring players up through the farm system like we paying basketball. You got teams like the Cincinnati Reds, right, who ride off of Ellie De La Cruz. Like, you cannot operate a Major League Baseball team off of one solid player that does it. Like, it is a team sport. But if you got 3 to 4 solid players,
and that's the difference.
You should be able to get some motion and get the thing done. Like, at least second round. So you should at least be able to get the second. Get out of the NLDS. Yeah. Get to the NLCS. Something. The Padres, another struggling team, which they just got purchased for $3.9 billion, and they ain't gonna do shit. Well, just saying, man. It's like it's.
Well, I think you make fair points, but I just want to kind of like put this into context. These are Bryce Harper's postseason numbers, and I'm going to go by OPS. OPS is a more comprehensive. By no means is it the most comprehensive stat. There are other stats like WOBA, like WLBA, and things WRC, but OPS is a really good metric to gauge hitters by, and that's the on base percentage, how often you get on base, whether it's walking or hitting, and then your slug percentage, how often are you crushing the ball, more or less. And postseason OPS, top players of all time, Babe Ruth, and the range, 800. Let's say 770 to 830. You're a good player. 830 and above, or 833 and above, you're a really good player. 900 and beyond, you're elite. And you know, anything that's 1,000 plus, or 950 or 1,000 plus, I mean, you're in a different stratosphere. Babe Ruth's postseason OPS was 1.214, 1214. That's insane. It's otherworldly. Derek Jeter, the captain, who won countless World Series with the Yankees. What do you think his OPS is in the postseason? From a scale of 700 to 1,000, or 700 to 1,200, what do you think Derek Jeter's OPS is in the postseason? Take a guess.
I think Derek Jeter's OPS in the postseason was somewhere like, what, 850?
You're close.
I was about to say
close.
I'm about to say like 9.
Nah, stay with 8. I want to see how close you get.
Stay with 8? Oh,
yeah, it's in the 800s.
Okay.
You think it's close to 800, close to 900? Where's your guess for his
close to
OPS?
9? Close to 9.
838.
Closer to 9.
Which is 838. So and that's a really, really, I would say it's a great OPS. You know, it's not to disparage. Now, Derek Jeter's postseason OPS is 838. Babe Ruth's postseason OPS is 1214. Where do you think Bryce Harper's postseason OPS ranks at? Where do you think it stands at?
Amongst who?
Bryce?
You talking about rankings? Or you talking about like just
rankings?
No, he's talking about his
OPS, all time greats. Postseason OPS comparison amongst all-time greats. Babe Ruth's at 1214. David Ortiz, Big Papi's at 1016, and Derek Jeter's at 838. Where do you think Bryce Harper ranks amongst those guys? Where do you think his OPS is?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. Tom, you're the Bryce Harper hater. Tell me.
The lowest number you can get, which is OPS. Bryce Harper's OPS is like low 700s.
Mm-hmm.
Blasphemy.
You think low 700s?
Don't care, Bryce. Yeah.
His postseason OPS is right around 986. That's
Sure.
right under the elite tier, and by elite I mean David Ortiz and Babe Ruth, Carlos Beltran, one of the, those type of guys. And Reggie Jackson is at 922. Mr. October, the one who hit I think 7 home runs in
Reggie
either
Jackson
the postseason or the World
Jackson.
Series. Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is,
Reggie Jackson.
that's a cumulative average, right? But if you look over the years, going back to the Nationals, 2012 when he was just starting with them, OPS in the playoffs horrible, 522. I don't know if he was a rookie that year or first playoff run, and then 2014 in the playoffs with the Nationals, his OPS was 1251, which is insane, and that was either the year or the year before the MVP season that he had, where his regular season OPS was 1,000 or 1,100, something insane. What year did the Nationals win the World Series again? Yeah, go ahead. We want to say, Jamal?
While Tom is thinking, so you're saying, this is Bryce Harper's OPS, right? But we basing off of just the Phillies, someone over his entire career.
I'm going over entire career. So I gave the average for the career, which was high,
right.
and then I'm going year by year to show that he's been consistent in the playoffs with the Phillies and the Nationals. Then so the skill is not really the issue.
What was his OPS? What's his OPS in the playoffs, though?
That was the number.
I thought you were talking about his OPS in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the OPS
Yeah,
in the
number.
playoffs. That was
right. 9 something?
986. Yeah. And then what I'm doing is going back through the years to show you that it's not just one year where he has like an insane one. No, it's consistently he's getting an OPS of 900 plus for most of those postseason runs with the Nationals or the Phillies.
What's his OPS? What's his OPS for the Phillies in the playoffs?
I can take so.
Can you get that?
Yeah. I'm looking at it. So 2019 to 21, the Phillies did not go to the playoffs, including the lock COVID year. But 2022 breakout postseason OPS was 1160, which is off the charts. 2023 comes back next year, has another OPS in the postseason of over 1,000 at 1111, which is again insane. And then 2024, the next year after that, his OPS is even higher with the Phillies at 1279, which is almost impossible. I mean, these like
yeah. Well, for me, what we know, or I know, is really the one. Thomas, he's the one that's. But I know Bryce. Well, you and I know that Bryce Harper is that guy. His OPS is good. You know what I'm saying? He shows up regardless. But I think what comes down to is just situational. Certain situations. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
What I'm trying to say is situationally.
Every single time, as Tom said earlier.
What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to correct the narrative because he has been really clutch situationally 2022, 2023, 2024. 2025 was the first time we have not seen him be clutch as a Philly. And that's that's why I think that's why people don't get on him, because he's been carrying not just the team but the damn franchise and doing it at a high clip. And then in the moments that matter, he's got it done. It's been a lot of the other guys that have not got it done. And then the question comes down to how much of that falls on his shoulders as not being a leader and picking his team up and dragging them to say, hey, we need you to play best. Or is it a situation where he's like LeBron with J.R. Smith, like, yo, I passed you the ball, shoot it. Why are you running around with it with 6 seconds left? That's the question to be answered here.
Right.
Because when it comes down to making the hit,
Bryce Harper strikes out.
When? Outside of last year, when? That's my question.
In the clutch, Bryce Harper.
When you're just making a blanket statement, give examples.
I mean, clearly this past year,
yeah,
Well,
he didn't get the.
Well,
job.
yeah, we said this. We
get
said this
that.
last year. We said that.
yeah, we get that.
What my thing is, right? Sure, Bryce Harper's all right. So we're gonna go on stats, right? We'll go on stats, which always looks great, right? You know who else got great stats? Kirk Cousins.
In the playoffs?
He has fantastic
In the
stats.
playoffs?
Even in the playoffs. The stats are good. The stats are
Oh, no,
fantastic.
G.
My thing is, listen, his numbers are high. Kirk Cousins, if you look at Kirk
No, I
Cousins'
get the angle
numbers
you're
in the
taking.
playoffs,
Yeah, I get the
the
angle you're
playoffs that he's going to, his numbers are good. Right. Their numbers are good. Does he win? No, he doesn't win. What's the use of being Michael Jordan and not win a championship?
So it's not really more so the players, more surrounding cast, which we were talking about earlier. Is I think goes down to the GM. So basically,
I mean,
this is the
yeah.
Herschel Walker. Well, hold up. This is the Herschel Walker of the Dallas Cowboys in the early '90s or late '80s. You know what I'm saying? I think we do need to get some. I do believe we need to get some other talent on the team other than 2 or 3 guys. You know what I'm saying to really to cover the frailties or rather the inconsistencies we have. I believe Bryce Harper is a great guy. And you're saying, Thomas, that we will win because of Bryce Harper?
I think he's a great player.
Right.
I don't think he's a leader. So I don't think he can rally the team when things get tough. I think he just starts to get mad and he gets flustered.
I just don't
He's
understand
not
how you could say
the
that.
bedrock.
There's multiple examples of him doing the exact opposite of what you're saying, and the bedlam at the bank being one of the iconic moments that would be in opposition, be contradictory to what you're saying. When they needed it, and that's not the only. What I'm saying is that's not the only time, but that's one of the most memorable of many times where when he needed a moment when it looked like, oh man, this is gonna be going to game. Might go to game 7, we might lose to the pot. He said, no, I got it. Sending that over the fence. And then the game against the Braves, when we couldn't beat the Braves in the playoffs, it might have been 2024 or 23. And you have Arcia talking trash. Yeah. Talking trash. And then Bryce hits a home run and rounds the bases and looks at him, stares him down. And then he does it again and stares him down again. That's what...
Yeah.
Right. We didn't have that. That was what the Ryan Howards used to do back in the day. Hey guys, I know we struggling down the stretch with inconsistent hitting. I'm putting team on my back. Just follow me. He's done that. So like he hadn't done that with the Nationals, which I could understand your viewpoint if you were talking about him with the Nationals, but with the Phillies, not only has he made the franchise relevant, but he's come up in the big moments. So, and then to not, you have to have, if you're going to say that he's not coming up in the clutch moments outside of last year when him and the rest of the team came up short, where are your examples? Where I'm giving you examples and I'm giving you not just the numbers. It wasn't like he was getting those numbers and then in the big moments he was falling short. No, he was getting the numbers and coming up in the big moments. You can't get any better than that. It comes down to, is the team not playing good because they don't believe in him and he's just doing his own thing like Thanos, or because they just can't deal with the intensity, or is there a little bit of both? That's the question. But to say that they're not going to win because of him, that's ludicrous. He's the only reason they even have a shot at winning in the playoffs, not just the season. He's the only reason they got back to the World Series. You take everybody out the equation, they're a playoff team. You take Bryce Harper out the equation, they don't even make the playoffs. They put up some good numbers in the season. They're not even making the playoffs without Bryce Harper.
I think it's Kyle Schwarber, to be honest with you. But moreover than that, you really high on Bryce Harper. How many championships does Bryce Harper have?
How many championships Jay Marino have? But if you were starting the team, would you not take Dan Marino? What are we talking about here? Same could be said about John Elway. He goes to the Super Bowl every year. He's lost 5 times. John Elway, he's done. Let's not give him a chance to get the 2 rings back to back at the end because his whole career he's shown that he couldn't get it done. No, like
it took a minute. Yeah,
there's nuance there. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just think that surface level, you're completely negating the fact that he has been a clutch player. The question is, in that locker room, are you pushing those guys in the way they're going to respond to? That's the question. Skill wise.
Well, that's I told you, it's leadership,
and that's fair. That's fair. But what I'm saying is, you were trying to say he don't come up in the clutch moments. No, they're there because of him. Will they get over the?
He strikes out a lot too.
Recently,
he
but
strikes out a lot.
How can it be true if his on base percentage is high and his strikeout rate has not been what we saw with the Ryan Howard? Ryan Howard struck out a lot. He struck out a lot. Bryce Harper don't strike out at the same rate as a Ryan Howard used to, but we never had these criticisms for Ryan Howard when he was playing because he hit so many home runs that we were willing to take the strikeouts with the slugging percentage he was putting up. Whereas Bryce Harper, his on base percentage regularly over 330, 340. So that means you're getting on base, meaning you're seeing the ball well. And even when he's not getting on base, a lot of times he still hits for contact. Hard line outs, you're still getting good exit velo off the bat and good solid contact. It was this past year where we were like, hey, is he not elite anymore? Hey, is he not seeing the ball as well? Now going forward, he's trying to reprove I'm still elite. But that's a one blip year on the radar. So I just kind of look at it as him and Kyle Schwarber, those two, when it comes, and really I think the linchpin is Trey Turner. If Trey Turner don't get it together, then they're going to need to go find a guy that can get on base by hitting the ball more consistently, so then you can maximize what Harper and Schwarber do. Because that's what, if Trey Turner was doing that like he was if he was doing in the playoffs what he did during the season last year, then this Philly team. Then it's really even more of a coin toss between whether the Dodgers or the Phillies win. Because I thought that those two teams, whoever won that series, was going to win the World Series. That's what I thought. But the Phillies and the Yankees have the same problem. Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper, at least last year, they were swinging at shit they shouldn't have. But the biggest issue with them is that whole team, Phillies and Yankees, they don't hit for contact and they're not disciplined at the plate. So then you have Aaron Judge floating in water out of nowhere in the playoffs, where other teams know we ain't gonna pitch to you. We gonna walk you and get to the rest of the bums and strike them out. We're not gonna let you hurt us. That's what they do with Bryce, and that's what they do with Schwarber. They're like, we walk you. Yeah, lead him off. Yeah.
I think Toronto.
So it goes back to what I said before. Like
maybe
it's
we don't know.
Cast. So that's what. Okay.
I mean,
maybe we don't know. That could be true. We don't know.
It's a team game, right? We're talking team sports, right? So obviously there's a lot that goes into it, right? So clearly Bryce Harper is not on the pitching staff. He can't throw the baseball, so he's not like he can control things from that viewpoint, right? No, he's no Shohei Ohtani. We're not going to pretend that he is. But on the other side of things, right? You got a lot of times Bryce will swing for the fences when you need a single. A lot of times in these situational awareness situations, how many bunts does Bryce Harper lay down? Right? How many times does this guy go out his way for the team to win? No, he comes up there, swings for the fences, and if he hits the ball out the fence, he spikes the baseball back into the ground, which is completely unsportsmanlike, and he jogs around the bases like he's a piece of shit. Okay? So I'm going to tell you this right now. No. Listen, great numbers, and he'll have great numbers. He'll be a Hall of Famer. No question about it. I'm not doubting that. Championships, 0. And there you go. That's it. Unless Bryce Harper plays till he's 75, he ain't going to win a damn championship on somebody else's team. It ain't going to be Philadelphia.
Kyle Schwarber is the ultimate home run or bust type of player. Bryce Harper is able to hit singles even though the shift's on. that's where Bryce Harper is different. So I completely disagree with you in the stats.
But he don't do it when you need him to do it.
Stan, you was muted when you was talking for a little bit.
Based off of what?
You good
like
now,
what?
but you was.
Oh, my bad. Like what? Like at least throw up one scenario where you needed a single in 2024, 2023, 2022 in the playoff runs, NLCS, NLDS, and or World Series when they played the Astros. The Astros series. Now that's one series where you would probably had the strongest opportunity to make your case because everybody was inconsistent after game 1 or game 2 in that series. But against the Padres in the previous year, 2024, like how can you look at OPS's above 1,000 just point blank, even before going into situational baseball? How can you look at OPS's of 1279, 1100, 1160, and say he's not coming up room? Are you pushing those guys in the way they're going to respond to? That's the question. Skill wise.
Well, that's I told you, it's leadership,
and that's fair. That's fair. But what I'm saying is, you were trying to say he don't come up in the clutch moments. No, they're there because of him. Will they get over the?
He strikes out a lot too.
Recently,
he
but
strikes out a lot.
How can it be true if his on base percentage is high and his strikeout rate has not been what we saw with the Ryan Howard? Ryan Howard struck out a lot. He struck out a lot. Bryce Harper don't strike out at the same rate as a Ryan Howard used to, but we never had these criticisms for Ryan Howard when he was playing because he hit so many home runs that we were willing to take the strikeouts with the slugging percentage he was putting up. Whereas Bryce Harper, his on base percentage regularly over 330, 340. So that means you're getting on base, meaning you're seeing the ball well. And even when he's not getting on base, a lot of times he still hits for contact. Hard line outs, you're still getting good exit velo off the bat and good solid contact. It was this past year where we were like, hey, is he not elite anymore? Hey, is he not seeing the ball as well? Now going forward, he's trying to reprove I'm still elite. But that's a one blip year on the radar. So I just kind of look at it as him and Kyle Schwarber, those two, when it comes, and really I think the linchpin is Trey Turner. If Trey Turner don't get it together, then they're going to need to go find a guy that can get on base by hitting the ball more consistently, so then you can maximize what Harper and Schwarber do. Because that's what, if Trey Turner was doing that like he was if he was doing in the playoffs what he did during the season last year, then this Philly team, then it's really even more of a coin toss between whether the Dodgers or the Phillies win. Because I thought that those two teams, whoever won that series, was going to win the World Series. That's what I thought. But the Phillies and the Yankees have the same problem. Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper, at least last year, they were swinging at shit they shouldn't have. But the biggest issue with them is that whole team, Phillies and Yankees, they don't hit for contact and they're not disciplined at the plate. So then you have Aaron Judge floating in water out of nowhere in the playoffs, where other teams know we ain't gonna pitch to you. We gonna walk you and get to the rest of the bums and strike them out. We're not gonna let you hurt us. That's what they do with Bryce, and that's what they do with Schwarber. They're like, yeah, we'll walk you. Yeah, lead him off. Yeah.
I think Toronto.
So it goes back to what I said before. Like
maybe
it's
we don't know.
Surrounding cast. So that's what. Okay.
I mean,
maybe we don't know. That could be true. We don't know.
It's a team game, right? We're talking team sports, right? So obviously there's a lot that goes into it, right? So clearly Bryce Harper is not on the pitching staff. He can't throw the baseball, so he's not like he can control things from that viewpoint, right? No, he's no Shohei Ohtani. We're not going to pretend that he is. But on the other side of things, right? You got a lot of times Bryce will swing for the fences when you need a single. A lot of times in these situational awareness situations, how many bunts does Bryce Harper lay down? Right? How many times does this guy go out his way for the team to win? No, he comes up there, swings for the fences, and if he hits the ball out the fence, he spikes the baseball back into the ground, which is completely unsportsmanlike, and he jogs around the bases like he's a piece of shit. Okay? So I'm going to tell you this right now. No. Listen, great numbers. And he'll have great numbers. He'll be a Hall of Famer. No question about it. I'm not doubting that. Championships, 0. And there you go. That's it. I'm not. Unless Bryce Harper plays till he's 75, he ain't going to win a damn championship. On somebody else's team. It ain't going to be Philadelphia.
Carl Schwarber is the ultimate home run or bust type of player. Bryce Harper is able to hit singles even though the shift's on. That's where Bryce Harper is different. So I completely disagree with you in the stats.
But he don't do it when you need him to do it.
Stan, you was muted when you was talking for a little bit.
Based off of what?
You good
like
now,
what?
But you was.
Oh, my bad. Like what? Like at least throw up one scenario where you needed a single in 2024, 2023, 2022 in the playoff runs, NLCS, NLDS, and or World Series when they played the Astros. The Astros series. Now that's one series where you would probably had the strongest opportunity to make your case because everybody was inconsistent after game 1 or game 2 in that series. But against the Padres in the previous year, 2024, like how can you look at OPS's above 1,000 just point blank, even before going into situational baseball? How can you look at OPS's of 1279, 1100, 1160 and say he's not coming up in the clutch unless you have specific situations you can pull out or extrapolate from those years, those numbers alone? And then you look at the average. He has 349 batting average in the postseason in 2022, 333 in 2023, 333 in 2024. That's insane. On base percentage, over 400 in 2022. That's beyond elite. Over 440 in 2023. That is beyond elite. On base percentage of 529 in 2024.
What's his playoff?
This is the playoffs.
What's his playoff ribbies?
I can look it up. I don't know it off. Playoff ribbies.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up.
Playoff ribbies is 34. And I think
over his course of his career.
Yeah. And when you ask that question, you also have to acknowledge that you can't get RBIs if people are not on base in front of you, correct? If nobody gets on base walking or hitting, can you get RBIs outside of hitting a solo home run? No, you can't.
Yeah, solo home run. A solo home run. Yeah.
So if you have 30,
I'm not saying the man don't hit home runs. I'm not saying. Listen,
so if nobody's on base, can you? What are the odds of you getting an RBI if you don't get a home run? If nobody's on base, outside of you getting a little league home run, how are you going to get an RBI?
I mean, that's obviously the only way you're going to get an RBI,
Yeah.
right? Players got to get on base in front of you, right? But the whole thing comes down to leadership, right? So if you're a leader right, on the team, you got to go out and tell your guy, man, listen, don't swing for the fences on this one. This pitcher is throwing low and inside, right?
Yeah.
Look for this pitch.
Yeah.
Right? And not like the Houston Astros banging on trash cans, right? But the same way you got to go, and you got to lead your team. You got to give them the insight, what you see up there at the plate. Hit them with that. Let them know what you're doing here. Alec Baum, I think he's an actual really good player, and I think he can even be any better. Y'all traded away Nick Castellanos, which I don't think that was a good trade away to San Diego.
Come on, bro.
Right? So
losing the plot now.
I'm sticking to the point here where, he not pushing the line. So he may get on base, but he's not leading the team.
How do you lead a guy like Castellanos?
So basically what he's saying is Bryce Harper is not the fact that Bryce Harper is a bad player. Bryce Harper is a great player. He's a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player like you said. But far as the team, how can Bryce Harper push the Phillies to the next level? His argument is basically is the Herschel Walker. Is it making the Cowboys a better team? No. Herschel Walker's great, but the team isn't great. Same thing with as of recent I could think of. With Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? Micah Parsons, you know what I'm saying, was great, but we still had issues with stopping the run. So what can we do to make sure the teams are sure at stopping the run? They I'm not saying trade him, but I'm saying they traded Micah Parsons, got some acquisitions, right? Got a 2 first-round draft picks, and hopefully with these 2 first-round draft picks, and hopefully with these offseason moves, we can be able to make the team better. That's why I think where Tom is coming from.
But the team is good. You got Nola. You got Sanchez. You got the pitching staff is strong.
Yeah. Stronger, right? Yeah.
The actually even your hitters is strong, and you got a pretty good defense.
It's not. That's why I'm trying. That's why I'm trying to tell you. When the hitting is not strong, then it's impossible to be able to test the hypothesis of whether he's a good leader or not. I understand your viewpoint, and I'm not even necessarily agreeing with some of your gripes based off of how he was in Washington. Maybe he does still have a lot of those poor tendencies. That's not necessarily the deciding factor on whether he's going to be a good enough leader to win or not. Because, as with The Last Dance, a lot of people hated Michael Jordan. He was an asshole, but he played at a certain level, and the guys that could deal with it, they were able to rise to the occasion. Guys like Kwame Brown with the Wizards, when Jordan came back, he was a kid. Yeah. He couldn't handle it. And understandably so, but there are certain guys that cannot handle that style of leadership or coaching, whatever. And you look at this lineup. I'm even playing in Little League, right? And obviously there is not the MLB, it's not high school, college, but the concept is the same because it's a kid's game at the end of the day. There were players that no matter how much I talked to them and said, hey, watch out for this pitch sequence or fix your time and start your swing a little sooner, they just had certain limitations, whether it be mental, physical, whatever, where it didn't matter how good I played or how much I tried to encourage my teammates or pull them aside after practice. They just had limitations. And you look at Castellanos, attitude problem, kind of doing his own thing, being desperado, talking trash to Rob Thompson, the manager, swinging at pitches in the dirt despite year after year after year fans, and I would assume players, including Bryce Harper and Turner and Schwarber and other people in the locker room, and Rob Thompson telling him be more disciplined. Did it work? No. He drinking beers in the dugout because that's what he's going to do. And you paying him $20 million a year. Same thing with Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm was the 6th pick in the draft. I don't care who else is on your team. When you're the 6th pick in the draft, there's a certain expectation that comes along with you, right? If Bryce Harper is telling you, hey, you're after me in the lineup, right? I'm gonna get on base, so all you gotta do is be disciplined. Don't be swinging at sliders because they're gonna pitch to you different. Is it his fault if Alec Bohm is still swinging at the 3rd slider in a row and doing it year after year after year after year?
No.
But is Bryce Harper doing that though?
We don't know, but my point is, the point I'm trying to make is, it wouldn't matter who you had in his shoes. It could be a Juan Soto. I'm not talking about leadership, whether they're a good leader or not. I'm just talking about pure skill. It could be Ohtani, it could be Juan Soto, it could be Derek Jeter. Leadership abilities up and down the range. The point is, if guys are just trash, they just trash. Alec Bohm is kind of confirming it there because this year's is probably the worst year of his career, to the point where he's not just unplayable, he may be untradeable. Same thing with Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott, phenomenal defense. It's like he forgot how to hit. Like, you have guys that aren't just not hitting for average, they're not even getting on base. It's like you're striking out, you're not even hitting singles, you're not even walking. You're just useless outside of defense. So that's the real issue with this lineup. Outside of Harper, Turner, Schwarber, they're so top heavy that they can't hit at any other spots. If Edmundo Sosa is your next best hitter and he's not even an everyday player, you have serious problems. So I just try to say all that to say that I'm not necessarily absolving Bryce Harper of liability. Even when people talk about Jalen Hurts and I stand up for him, I will say at times, I'm like, hey, there may be some people that can't deal with Jalen Hurts' style of coaching to other players. They may look at Jalen Hurts' demeanor and say, hey, some guys, they may look at him being quiet and say, hey, yo, I need more emotion. Like maybe there's some people that see you on the sideline, kind of like with the stoic face, and understand that you just locked in, and there are other guys that think you don't care. I get it, but what I'm saying is the talent has to be sufficient around the star players for me to then be able to judge whether you are actually a good leader or not. Because that was the same thing with Iverson. It was hard to judge whether he was a great leader because when you have Tyrone Hill and Eric Snow and George Lynch and Theo Ratliff around you, sorry, they're just it's not a good enough barometer to be able to even make any prescriptions or assertions. So what I will say is, to Thomas's point, there were reports coming out that he's selfish at times. Now, where there's smoke, there's fire. Could there be something there? Could you win with him despite him being selfish? Yes, if that's the case. Could you lose with him because he's selfish? Yes. What I'm saying is, how can you get on a player for being selfish if that's the case, right? Because we don't know that. If we knew that, then I would take my glasses off and be looking in the screen just like Thomas. But we don't know that. Right? The same way as you could say, oh, yeah, I don't know if he's a good leader.
Bro, you just brought Thomas back to life, bro. So you said that his eyes got big, took off his glasses. He's looking at you directly in the screen. Not looking at the panel. He's looking at your panel directly towards you.
Right.
He like this. He's not looking like this. He doing this.
Because I think you're making assertions. You're making assertions based off conjecture when that flies in the face of. You're making assertions based off conjecture and just trying to tie that to say that into saying that, oh yeah, he also hasn't performed. So how you going to not perform in the clutch moments and not be a good leader if those are the qualities you have? What I'm saying is he does perform in the clutch moments, and we don't know if he is or isn't a good leader yet. When somebody is performing in the clutch moments, that by default you have to be some type of good leader. You could have all the speeches and all the Phil Jackson Zen, philosophies and whatnot, but if you can't perform in the clutch, none of that shit matter anyway, right? Performing in the clutch when it matters, that's what it comes down to off rip. Now, on top of that, what's going to determine whether you are able to win against other guys who are as good as you, but they are good leaders, that's where it comes down to. But we can't tell because the rest of the team sucks at hitting. And then on top of that, yeah, the pitching is great starting wise, but the bullpen has been hot garbage. So there are like fundamental flaws in this team that make it very hard to know whether Bryce Harper, whether Kyle Schwarber are the real problem, or whether it's guys like Trey Turner, Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott, Alec Bohm. All those guys at the other 6 or 7 spots that aren't doing jack shit that make it impossible to win whether you think the person's a good leader or not. That's the point I'm making. Now, if you had a great team around you, if you had at least solid players, and now you have these guys not coming up in the clutch, doing their thing, but now Bryce Harper is not coming up in the clutch, or he's making excuses when he don't hit a single in the clutch, then I can see your point. But when I'm bringing up scenario after scenario, and then including the bedlam in the bank, when you need people, when you need guys to show up in the clutch,
listen,
how you haven't given me an example of when Bryce don't do that, but yet you're trying to say he don't come up in the clutch, and then I give you the stats year after year after year after year. You're not disputing none of those stats, but you keep saying he don't come up in the clutch. It don't make sense.
I'm not disputing the stats. I'm disputing the
stats match up with the outcomes in the playoffs, though. That's the point.
The stats don't match leadership.
The outcomes in the playoffs.
The stats don't match leadership.
When he's taking that team to the playoffs and taking them far into the playoffs while putting up the stats, at the very least, how can you say that he's not a good leader? I'm not saying you got to say he's a bet, but just off rip as a baseline to say he's not a good leader when he's put the team on his back. Not just making them relevant, but performing in the clutch moments and taking them through the playoffs. How can you say that? That doesn't make sense.
Schwarber, man, you got me skipping my words. Now you're trying to tell me Bryce Harper has put the team on his back over Schwarber?
Yes. I'm not saying that Schwarber hasn't done anything. I'm saying that Bryce Harper does what he does regardless of whether Schwarber is putting up the numbers too. That they both make this team a contender. Right? The problem is they don't have anybody besides those two. That has nothing to do with Kyle.
We are 15 games into this baseball season.
15 games.
Right? And Maul's pushing us to talk about the mock draft. So we're gonna stop right here and we're gonna bring this back up.
Here.
But what I'm gonna tell you right here, this gonna be I'm gonna finish this. This gonna be right here, right? What I can guarantee, and I put a guarantee on this shit, Philadelphia ain't winning no World Series with Bryce Harper on the team.
You're a Dodgers fan. Everything you say is irrelevant. Let's just start there.
I'm sure guarantee it this season.
Oh, here we yes.
I mean,
not only have you not made sense, but you're a Dodgers fan, so you're biased now.
You're going to tell me all these stats. You're going to tell me all this information, which sounds fantastic on paper, and it sounds really, really good. But the fact of the matter is, great. He beat San Diego in the clutch. Listen, I don't care. San Diego has also 0 championships in franchise history.
Okay.
So one of the worst baseball teams in history, and they've had great players like Tony Gwynn and still ain't get the job done.
Were they the worst? You're
not going to convince me.
Were they the worst team where they were playing the Phillies in the NLCS? Were they the worst team? It matters when they played them. Were they the Padres of the past?
Luckily,
they had Machado and they had Tatis. Stop it. Cut it out.
They slid by
Cut out. You're leaving.
Listen.
I don't care.
You're lying by omission. You're leaving out key details. You try to make your argument.
We gotta move on, sir. We gotta move on. But we've been almost 2 hours just on baseball and Bryce Harper. We weren't supposed to talk about baseball. We were supposed to talk about the Flyers and the Sixers. That's what you're supposed to be talking about. But we good. This is good. But I gotta put the spotlight on this real quick. We have my boy Tom Argan, who used to be a Phillies fan.
We don't have to talk about that.
Who used to be a Phillies fan talking about the Phillies in a negative context.
Let's go to the mock draft. Let's go to the mock draft.
Hey, people in the comments, Philadelphia, get on them. Get on them. Y'all,
let's go to the draft. I don't care. We talk about football now. We talk about football.
Get them, y'all. Sick them.
Sick them. This is crazy.
Y'all know he talking crazy over here.
Now, polls now.
Talking crazy over here.
Stan is trying to stand up and tell me Bryce Harper is everything Philadelphia needs, and he's everything Philadelphia doesn't need.
What?
Jamal has become a Devils fan when we lived 15 minutes away from the damn stadium. I don't even know what's happening.
You go from being so right to so wrong. I don't know how that happened.
The irony in this right now. It's crazy. Bull moved from Philly, not from Jersey down to LA, talking big up the LA Dodgers and talk about how bad the Phillies are with Bryce Harper and they will never win.
Listen, Bryce Harper's a great player. I never said he wasn't. I'm saying he ain't getting the job
I understand
done.
it.
Kyle Schwarber is the man. But the thing is, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how you beat the Dodgers.
We almost did. What are you talking about?
The team is strong.
Now this year, I don't know.
But the Phillies
last year was our chance to beat y'all.
The Phillies have
this year. I don't know.
No, Toronto would have smoked y'all. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that the Phillies have had chances. The Phillies had chances in 21, 22. There were chances, but
sure.
Yeah.
On to the mock
draft. Well, before we get into the mock draft, there's been some things happening in the offseason. Another big trade between the New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence, that dance that everybody be doing. They call it the sexy Dexy dance, whatever they call it, pause. But yeah, he's now a Cincinnati Bengal, and they gave up a 10 overall to the New York Giants. So now the Giants have 2 first-round draft picks. They got a 5th.
Hey, let me tell you, man, the Giants are building, man. He got smart out of nowhere.
Bro, now I'm kind of nervous, and now, for the Cowboys, because in previous mock drafts, they were saying that, the Giants potentially can go defense. They're either going to get Caleb Downs, or get Sonny Styles, right? It was either one of those two, right? And now potentially they can get both. They may go. Right. They may still go. They may still go offensive linemen because they need to protect their investment with Jackson Dart, potentially, right?
Yeah.
And I heard some other talks about them potentially getting a wide receiver as well. But I would say, why? Why would you need to get a wide receiver? Malik Neighbors is just as good. And And I think Jackson Dark is pretty from what I'm seeing so far, he spreads the ball pretty well. And on top of that, I think their run game for the Giants is going to be better than what a lot of people think. Cam Scatterbo, I like him, man. I really like him, and I don't think he's really the one guy, but with in a 1-2, I think Cam Scatterbo and whoever they choose to run with them, I think they can actually make something shake. And then top of that, they got the new coach. You know what I'm saying? The new coach they have there in town. So
Harbaugh, man.
Yeah, Harbaugh, exactly.
Yeah.
They potentially could do some things. So from a Cowboys perspective, it's I won't say scary, but it's concerning because the things that we need are the things the Giants need. We need defense, so do they. And at the 12th and 20, I'm hearing rumors that we have rumors that we could potentially move up with the draft, potentially be trade partners with the Tennessee Titans. This is just some Cowboys talk, you know what I'm saying, with the a lot of content creators and stuff like that, potentially. Nothing serious, but just it's still interesting to have a conversation about it. But we could.
Where do the Cowboys fans get their information from, man?
Oh, just the news, like a lot of the sports beat writers in Dallas area, and just dissecting the words of of Jerry Jones in these different interviews and stuff like that, and pay attention to what not Scott Linehan, sorry. Dang, I forgot that daggone coach's name. Schottenheimer's interviews, right? Because he says certain things that makes people want to allude to something, right? Just the other week he spoke about, for example, Jadon Blue. He mentioned Jadon Blue in a situation where Jadon Blue, he asked Jadon Blue to come meet with him for dinner or something like that, but Jadon Blue didn't accept the dinner invite. So he said something. I guess Jadon Blue has something more important to do, right? So he could have said that in water off a duck's back. Could have been nothing, but the fact that he said it in that manner, it can make you think like, what do you mean by that when you say that? You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things and certain tones that these beat writers are really catching in these interviews that make these content creators think of, okay, what are they talking about? And there's some good content creators out there that I actually follow that aren't just talking about just hot takes, like the boy AOC Attack on Cowboy. He's very prophetic and like he tells the future almost. Like he's almost like right all the time with his perspective. And there's another guy called Foots the King who's he's more like a mock draft guru and stuff like that, looking at perspective players. So Tommy, these aren't just players, these aren't just guys just talking, just grabbing a mic. These are people who actually do the research and actually listen to interviews. I listen to them a lot and gives me a different perspective. But back to the point. Back to the point. Exactly. If the Giants have the 5th and the 10th with the potential of grabbing both Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs, I think now we should trade to move forward. We should trade up. Give up a let me see. Give up our 10th pick, right? Our 12th pick to the Tennessee Titans. I'm sorry, the Browns. To the Browns. And you also give them our 3rd round draft pick as well. That we got from
we about to hop ahead of y'all.
So now
man.
they will have
about Caleb Brown to the Eagles, man.
I heard that too. But since the Giants made that move, I think the Cowboys may be more desperate to make that move as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, no, not 1st and 3rd round. I'm sorry. We trade the 1st, our 12th and 20th to the Browns for their 6th and their 2nd round draft pick. That's what it was. Just so we could move up and we gain a 2nd round draft. Because even at the 20 pick, there's so many players that's there, but there are players there that like the bull Mansour, what's his name? Not Mansour. What's the boy name real quick? Kevin's Concepcion.
I'm getting my iPad real quick.
No, you good. Mm-hmm. Avion Terrell, CJ Allen, there's Jacob Rodriguez. There are players that at the 20th pick that I think are better at the 2nd round draft. So That's what I think they're going to try to get. That's at 20th pick. We may be reaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
We might be reaching. Like Keldrick Falk. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. Oh, Akeem Messador and like Akeem Messador. Like, yeah, I don't know. A lot of players think he's more not a 20th, but
so who y'all think? Who do you think y'all get
second
though?
round draft.
Who do you think y'all get?
I think if we stayed the way we are at 10 and 20, I think we get Mansour Delane, and we go get a middle linebacker. I still say we should get either C.J. Allen, right? Mm-hmm. But again, C.J. Allen, he's mocked to go. He's like the 36. So you know what I'm saying? Like C.J. Allen, he's a linebacker we need, but do we go BPA at the 20th pick? That's why I think that we should trade back so we can get a player for value purposes. Because the players that are there at 20th, like I personally don't think we need an edge rusher. We don't need an edge rusher. Okay. We can go and drop. We can probably trade back and get a middle linebacker because the middle linebacker position is deep.
Yeah.
So if not, then if we not, I think we should definitely trade. Since the Giants went off and got their 2 first-round draft picks within the top 10, we need to do something. I think we should trade up. Give them our 10th, our 12th and 20th. Be trade partners with the Browns and get our guy. But there's a lot of stuff shaking though now. They're talking about Caleb Downs could probably drop down to the 12th spot. So I don't know. Like maybe 12 is fine if our guy's at 12. But it's that 20th pick which is unique. But we'll see.
Right. You still have me connected, okay?
I think you guys get Dylan Thiemann if you guys don't move up.
You got me back now?
What you got? Stan?
1 second, my connection is getting sketchy.
Okay.
My connection is getting sketchy. Hold on.
Tom.
Hold on 1 second, man. We an hour and 30 minutes in. I gotta charge up this iPad. I'm about to get in these statistics real quick. Lucky I ain't had an iPad and shit right before when we was talking baseball.
We going back, bro?
Like he lucky I ain't had an iPad out when we was talking baseball. He lucky as hell, man. I swear. Cause like I have multiple instances, but I ain't want to be wrong and say some shit and I'd be like, oh, that was the wrong season or whatever. And he would have got me. So I ain't wanna screw
it's
that
all
up.
Good.
So
it's all
like,
good.
Man,
We just talking.
Let me take this small L right now. Just a small one because the big win is gonna be crazy.
I heard you saying though. It's just that I don't think we're.
How's my connection now,
I get the angle he's coming from, but
how's my connection now?
For sure.
Y'all hear me?
You say, bro?
Y'all hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you. You got you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good now. You better.
Yeah, what was y'all saying just now?
Oh, Tom is.
I was just talking shit.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
You
talking about football,
yeah,
baseball.
He went back to baseball. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah, he's going back.
I got. It's all good. I got a whole list of games. I got a whole list of games. We're gonna go back to that though. Don't play with me, man. We'll get smoked.
We good right now, though.
You're gonna get smoked.
Nah.
We talking football.
Nah, Tom.
We talking football.
Yeah. Who y'all who you got, Tom, for Rams?
He's not ready yet.
Yeah, I got to bring it up because some things have slightly changed. I mean, like I said, we loaded up on defense right now. We're still in the looks. We need a. I mean, I was hoping for Caleb Downs. I don't think Caleb's
not them. You need a corner though.
He's not going to fall down to 13. We don't. I mean, we good on the corners though.
Who?
We just picked up. We picked up 2 corners.
Who?
We had talked about that before. I'm just trying to get their names right off the top of my head. Um, but we actually need an offensive lineman. Is what we really need the most. Let's see. Heck. Y'all just gotta give me 1 minute. But in the meantime, though, beyond that, before we talk about the Rams, I do want to focus on
Oh, you Trent
at
McDuffie,
the number. Oh, yeah, Trent McDuffie. There you go. That's Trent McDuffie, and we also
Kobe
picked up.
Durant.
Uh, yeah, yep. There you go. So you got to him first. But yeah, I just they names wasn't coming to my mind right off top. But yeah, we just picked up corner and a safety, so we should be pretty much kind of not perfect, but lock that up. Our secondary was trash last year. Everybody watched that debacle happen in real time. But the idea was to get an offensive lineman trying to shore up that
What,
line
tackle?
to protect Stafford. To protect Stafford this year, Stafford only got a couple more years left, and this might be
So
it right here.
basically,
So I think the Rams will be all in this year. I really do. I think they're going to go back at it just like they did before when they won a championship. Full on in, go out there and try to get it done. Let me look at this draft real quick. And let's see, give you a couple names that's been going around. Because I mean, the 13th pick is an interesting pick anyway. A lot of people probably will be off the board, but also maybe not. So the offensive tackle that they were saying may stay, may not stay, was Warren McClendon. Like, is I think having him stick around might help us. But they were talking about he's on the as far as leaving this year.
mm-hmm.
But we need to for real stick to getting an offensive tackle, shoring up that line, as well as start. I don't know what's up with the quarterback position, man. I
Why not
personally think we should go ahead and draft a backup.
to Matt Stafford?
We've had
And this now I wouldn't
yeah
I
to
wouldn't get in
Matt.
this class though. What's up with you?
I mean,
What's up with you?
but it's kind of necessary
Who? Ty Simpson?
because I mean behind, huh?
Ty Simpson? He's the only.
Yeah, Simpson. I mean, Simpson was talked about too, but I'm saying it's kind of necessary we pick up somebody and maybe we could develop them because I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's our backup right now,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't see. I mean, I don't know what Jimmy Garoppolo can still do. I don't think anybody really does, and we also um the young guy that never played for us, but we had drafted him years ago, won the first round draft pick out of Georgia. Um, shit, he won the Heisman, and he ain't even played a national football game, National League football game. So there's a lot of questions that we have going on here. Let me get this up here right here.
So let me see.
We need. So I don't think we need a wide receiver though. It's definitely still offensive tackle, and it's definitely still a corner is what's necessary for the Rams. Let me bring up the OTs. Y'all can continue conversation. Let me bring up the offensive tackles.
Let me ask you a question real quick. So you got your wide receivers are Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, right?
And
Devontae Adams, how many more years you guys left in his contract?
I think Devontae might have 2. Let me check.
I think you got one, bro.
It's either it could be this year. Let's see, no, 2-year, $44 million contract.
Okay.
Rams March 9th, 25. So 2 years, 44.
You said at March 9, 2025? So he played that year already. So he has 1 year left.
1 year left.
So this is last year. Devontae, how old is Devontae? 30? 30 what?
He's like 32, 33.
I would say Devontae Adams' age.
Y'all need a wide receiver.
we
Puka
might.
Nacua, like as much as he's been getting dotted up and by sheer numbers and volume because he's a volume wide receiver, um, he's gonna need some help because once
Devontae,
if everyone,
yeah, he's 33. He's
y'all
33.
need a wide receiver. So I'm not sure. Cardell Tate might be off the board by then. So who's the next wide receiver? Lemon? Yeah. Makai Lemon from
Is that the
USC.
next wide?
Yep.
But if you,
Let's pull up the John just now. Yeah. They're mocking Makai Lemon from USC going to the Rams.
okay.
Hold on.
I won't see it as a bad
chart.
thing because, like you said, you got your your secondary, your safety Kobe Durant, and you got Trent McDuffie, right? Your running backs is good. Obviously, you have your quarterback situated. I think the only thing to make sure that everything stay consistent is like you give your guy, you know what I'm saying, Matthew Stafford a weapon.
Yeah, we need we need another solid second wide receiver.
Devontae Adams out of there.
Tutu Atwell's good in the slot. You know what I mean? He's good as that third wide receiver. And he'll come in when he needs to come in and catch that pass most of the time that you need. But yeah, we need a solid second wide receiver that we can rely on as well too. But I don't know, man. Honestly, this is a weird draft, yo. This isn't a whole bunch of stars coming out in
No,
this
there are
draft.
stars coming. Nobody know why it's weird. It's a defensive because you guys are so offense oriented. You know what I'm saying that this draft right now is all defense. There's really no.
It's all
You know what I'm saying?
defense.
So
Right.
I get it. I understand. I wouldn't say it's weird, but I think for those like the Giants, those like the Cowboys, shoot, even Tennessee and the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Like we need help on defense. So I'm happy that this is defensive because that's the very thing that we're weak in. We need middle linebackers and we need secondary help. So Stan, this is what I was telling you about. So Mel Kiper, right, in one of his most recent one, right, he has the number 5th pick, right? Number 5th pick, Caleb Downs. He's picking him. Caleb Downs picking him at number 5.
Yeah.
And then, like I said before, I was talking about, all the content creators, stuff like that. Mel Kiper projecting, doing a mock trade with the Browns, and then with the Browns, we get in our linebacker, Sonny Styles. And then the 10th pick that he's got from Cincinnati, he got Giants picking up an offensive lineman, Francis Moigoa. So
you got the top according to this Reddit post, you got the top 10 OTs is Spencer Fano, right? And I think he's gonna go early. He's coming off the board. Francis, I can't pronounce it. My gal, Caden Proctor, Caleb Lemieux, Max, can't really say his last name, Monroe Freeling, Blake Miller, Jennings Dunker, Caleb Turnin, and Trey Zun III, which would be the top 10 OTs in this draft.
Top 10, but top 10, but maybe only 2 of them is actually going top 10 though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer Fano's coming off the board. I don't know particularly. I mean, I've looked at a couple different mock drafts. I think Spencer Fano might go in the top 6. Honestly,
let's talk about it. So I got no.
So
Vegas, they like as you know, they're going Stan. They're getting their quarterback.
Yeah. We know
Jets,
where Mendoza's going. That's
Jets. Yeah. So in our first episode, we talked about the mock draft. They had, if you guys remember, they had Arvell Reese going to the Jets, right? But now they got David Bailey.
Yes,
they got David Bailey, outside linebacker, going to the Jets, and then the Cardinals going to get an Arvell Reese as the edge. I don't know about that. I'm not sure why they would do that because they need help with protecting Brissett. I would think they would go lineman, me personally, but they're going defense. So again, this is a defense heavy draft, bro. So like I don't see like even to your point, Thomas, about the top 10 in this mock draft. I don't see anyone with Mel Kiper that's really offensive line going in the top 10 at all.
Well,
Not saying they can't
I'm looking at
happen.
Mel.
Not saying they can't happen. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, Francis Magoya from
at
Miami.
10.
Yeah, he's going at 10. Yeah, he's going at
He's
10.
going at 10 as far as Mel Kiper's concerned.
Yep.
And then Caden Proctor going at 12 to Cleveland. And then they got Makai Lemon going at 13 to the Rams. But I think the Rams need to go with just the offensive tackle right off top. I know they need a wide receiver, but I don't
I mean, you
know.
say if you can't go wrong, go
You
line.
could probably right. You can't go wrong on the O line. That's the thing. And
Yeah.
you get a wide receiver out of college. He may pan out, he may not. But you could also get somebody. You could also pick up somebody during the season to shore up that second wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that'll be willing to wheel and deal and trade. I don't know. I would go with the offensive tackle off that.
I was going to
But
say the
yeah,
same
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
like it's just I don't know this. Yeah, like, I don't know. This draft it's still a strange draft though
Defense.
because it's not
Defense. I'm excited.
it's a
for
lot
it.
of defense, but it's also a mixture of just like multiple different positions because teams need so much different scenarios that they working
Yeah.
with. You know, a lot of drafts will be like a whole wide receiver draft or quarterbacks coming off the board. It's all over the place. You got this team needs wide receiver. This team needs an offensive lineman. This team needs a quarterback. This team needs this. But I don't know.
So that mock draft simulator I had going on earlier, right?
Yeah, you had it up.
So, oh snap! They hold on. So they got Mendoza going first. Obviously, this is what the computer. This is what the
Yeah.
computer did. Which I'm like, wow, is this computer smart or this is just a dumb computer? I don't know. But Mendoza, I don't know. Then they got Cornell Tate going at number 2, which is wild to me. And then they got Francis McGoy going to Arizona. Then Jeremiah Love. So that's been consistent. Jeremiah Love going at 4 because even in Mel Kiper's Tennessee, they got him grabbing Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, Tennessee. I mean, they need a running back.
They got Arville Reese at 5. The Giants. This is no. Browns at 6. Kai Lemon. They got Tyson from Arizona going for the Washington Redskins. David Bailey, the edge for New Orleans. They got McCoy going to Kansas City. Sonny Styles going at 10 for the Giants. Cooper, wide receiver from Indiana, going to Miami, and then Caleb Downs at 12. And then they get the Rams. So if you want to indulge me, Thomas, right? I picked 3 teams, obviously, the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Eagles. If you choose, this is who you have left. Ruben Bain, Monster Delane, Spencer Fano, offensive tackle, Myro Freeling, O tackle from Georgia.
Yeah.
A guard, interior offensive lineman, so a guard or a center. Ola Vega Ione, and Kenyon Sadiq, Dylan Thiemann, Caden Proctor, Keldrick Falk. So who you wanna grab?
Man, it's gotta be an offensive tackle, man. I think if we
Spencer
can get Spencer
Fano,
Fano,
Monroe Freely.
I mean, either one of the two, I would probably say Spencer Fano, but either one of the two is solid. On most of these drafts, they have a wide receiver, obviously because they're trying to shore up that second spot. But I'm telling you, the smart money would be getting offensive tackle, right off top.
Yo.
I mean, it's just the smart money is this because you start you figure the cards on the table, the deck will fall so fast, right? If you have on the left side of your line, offensive line, you got a hole, and somebody comes through and they knock Stafford's head off, we down a quarterback. Like, I mean, honestly, at this point, we could wheel and deal for wide receivers. We could get a veteran. Well, I know we could get a veteran. There'll be veterans out there, but offensive tackles are so important to the structure of the offense that I'm saying Spencer Fano all day long. Like, people would disagree with me, probably say get a wide receiver, whatever. It's a high powered offense, but ain't no high powered offense if your quarterback's not being protected. So
Facts.
I'm going Spencer Fano all day long, yo. That's It's just crazy. It's just crazy that I think unless the thought process is, oh, we'll think we'll be able to get an offensive tackle in the second round. But I don't. I mean, and we will. I'm sure we'll be able to get an offensive tackle in the second round. But I mean, it might not be the same high prospect offensive tackle, and we need somebody to step in now, not to, not mid season. We need a now. That's a big gap. Beyond our defense, our offense our offensive line did struggle last year. If you go back to the Carolina Panthers game that we were supposed to dominate Carolina, we didn't
Panther was sneaky
because
good, bro.
they were, and I'm looking at them as a dark horse this year, honestly. And they was able to get to Stafford like it was easy. So all of a sudden, the whole game plan changes because now our offense, high-powered offense, Stafford can't get the ball out of his hands. So offensive tackle all day long. I'm thinking that's what we go with. They'll draft a wide receiver, I'm sure, but offensive tackle is what I would go with if I was the Rams.
So I did that. So I gave you
That's exactly what I was thinking for y'all. Because you got like another 2 years. If you get a tackle, then y'all might run it back to make a playoff push. I mean, a Super Bowl push.
Yep.
Stan, what you got, bro? What you got going on?
Oh, definitely. Obviously for the Raiders, Mendoza, and then whoever they're going to get with their other pick. But the Eagles, offensive line, same thing. Caden Proctor, that's the guy that I have circled on my list that I think that would be a good pick for them in the first round. Athletic, good production on tape. Seems like he can be a beast at the next level as long as he has the right development. So that could be your next Lane Johnson, possibly. We'll see. There's a million different spots they could draft at. I mean, it goes for any team. I mean, they could look to replace
So I reached
A.J. Brown. But, yeah, go ahead.
So I reached. So it was my pick at the 20, so I didn't treat any picks. So I reached and got C.J. Allen. I could have went and got my short lane. I could have got that, but I didn't get it because I know we have DBs. Plus, I also got Caleb Downs at the 12 spot. So now you're up, right? Eagles are up. You have Monroe Freeling, Kenyon Sadiq, Dylan Thieneman, Caden Proctor, and you're saying you're definitely going Caden Proctor? You got Kevin Concepcion, Texas A&M wide receiver.
Yeah, I like Proctor just because it fills a need. Like I said, I just look at that right tackle spot. You look at Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer, but he was barely able to make it through the season last year. When he's out, they're a different team. When he wouldn't be in, whether it's Chip Kelly, Peterson, Sirianni, this offense can't function. Don't matter who the quarterback is.
So you're drafting offensive tackle to replace him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's another guy, wide receiver. What's his name? Boston.
Yeah, Kevin Concepcion, Denzel Boston. Yeah.
Denzel Boston. He would be very good in the second round if they're able to trade up a pick if they needed to get a guy like him. So I would go offensive tackle first round and then try to trade up for a guy like Boston in the second round if he's still there.
Yeah.
Or I think, like you said, Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq is so good. That would be the other guy for the first round pick for the Eagles. I think he's going to be a star. All they really need to do with him is work on the blocking, and that's something that can be worked on. But you can't teach the talent and the hands and the speed he has. Either him or the guy out of Notre Dame, the tight end.
So we're at your second round draft pick, Stan, for the Eagles.
Yeah.
You got one trade offer from Carolina.
What we got?
Third round, 83rd pick overall. Fourth round, 119th pick, fifth. So basically, they're giving you five picks. And again, this is just a computer, but they're giving you 5 picks for your 54 pick overall.
I don't think they
83 pick
I don't think
overall.
they trade down for that because we already have 2 third-round picks already. So it has to be somebody.
Okay, I reject the
if
trade.
it's somebody they really like, they won't. I don't think they listen to an offer.
All right, I'm rejecting that trade.
Or they might try to package their second-round pick with one of their third-rounders they got through trade or compensatory pick to try to move up in the second round. It all depends on how the top of the second round shakes out, I think.
So the guy that you want in the second round, I mean, obviously this is the mock draft we're going, but they're all gone. Got Caleb Banks, Florida, defensive lineman. Chase Besantis, interior lineman. Emmanuel Pregnon, another interior lineman. You got the number 2 back that shared the ball with Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, running back from Notre Dame. Brandon Siss from South Carolina. Christian Miller from Georgia, defensive lineman for Georgia. I mean, I think I need to get anything from you. Might as well get another dribble. Get another one. You already got like 8 of them. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. I think offensive line. I think that's. I think the resources are going to start shifting back to offense in the draft because we poured a lot of capital into the defense. Jordan Davis got a new deal. Zach Bourne got a new deal 2 years ago. They got Jalen Carter coming up. Quinyon Mitchell, Coop. So they have to get young on offense, and I think that tackle spot is a need. It's both a need and they have a player that they think can be a future Pro Bowler. So I think they either go O tackle or tight end, and then maybe a wide receiver in the second round. It doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar because I think that they really believe in Smitty. And then you just put a number 2 next to him, and I think you'd be good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Smitty.
Yeah,
that's a lot. I mean, I like his game. Put it that way. I really thought he was gonna get broken in half because how thin he was, but he showed himself to be a football player. You know what I'm saying? Like the size was like when I first saw, I laughed like you guys got a freaking toothpick, but nah, he's a baller. So
yeah,
gotta respect him. So Mel Kiper's mock draft, they got you grabbing Blake Miller, offensive tackle from Clemson.
I can see that.
So I'm not sure.
I could just see it being a tackle. Whoever they have ranked highest at the time, I think that would probably happen. Because think about it, if they have Mailata and then they replace Lane Johnson with the tackle of the future, their line's set for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Because Cam Jurgens, the reason why they struggled last year is because Cam Jurgens' back was in different pieces in different states. It wasn't even all together at all, man. I don't even know how he was walking half the time, let alone doing the tush push. So just him getting back healthy along with 2 competent tackles, they're going to be set up for success.
Facts. I just want to add some context to you guys getting Blake Miller according to Mel Kiper's mock draft concerning Blake Miller. The value is better for the latter in this projection, and Miller is a perfect fit after playing over 3,500 snaps at right tackle in college. So basically, he's just going to fit the mold. Like, he's been getting all those snaps at right tackle anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of fits for him. So, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. This is one of those years where I don't think that it's a very... It may not be exciting to talk about the Eagles draft, but I think it's... Unless they do something I'm not expecting, I think it's straightforward where they may go.
Yeah.
Yo, the Dolphins got a gang of picks, yo.
They better use them right.
They got round 1 pick 11,
up.
round 1 pick 30, round 2 43, round 3 75, round 3 87, round 3 90, round 3 94.
In his mock draft, they trading the Dolphins trading this trade to for a second round draft and to the Cardinals. Got Cardinals getting Ty Simpson.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see where Ty Simpson actually goes, though. Honestly, like, he's really one of the only quarterbacks that are even in the first round that they have even going.
Yo, round 2, let's talk. So I'm gonna scroll down to where you guys are. C.J. Allen, 33rd pick overall, second pick first round, justifiably so. Oh, you guys, Stan, the Raiders, 36th pick overall. You guys are getting Keelan Rutledge out of Georgia Tech. He's a guard.
That's cool. I mean, whatever they need to do to shore up that line, just do it. They have to replace everybody there. I'm telling you, Genty, he had no place to. As soon as they gave the ball to Genty, he was getting hit in the backfield, getting his head knocked off. So they just need to upgrade everything on the line for him and Mendoza's sake. Because you have
I definitely need it.
You have tight end. Oh, what's his name, man? I'm tripping, and he's a future too. The tight end that they have, Brock Bowers. Yeah. You have Brock Bowers, honestly, and you have Brock Bowers, you have Genty. Just shore up the line and worry about the wide receivers last when you get to it. But once you shore up the line, that they can do some things.
Who you guys wide receivers on your team?
Got nobody. They don't exist. We got Brock Bowers, and he's a tight end.
Everybody going to stack that box, man. Genty ain't going to get not eating nothing.
That's what they did last year. They just need guys that can play tight end first. I mean, offensive line. Then we go from there. They won't if they don't get the line right. They'll just end up having a ceiling of the Bengals where you can have Jamar Chase and Higgins, but they can't keep Joe Burrow healthy because he's getting hit every 2 seconds. You know, so I'd get the line first, then the receivers. Yeah. Bowers will give you enough catches and enough of a threat where it gets you by, but you can't have Mendoza shell shocked by game 5.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bowers not enough in my opinion. I know he's good, but
I know. I'm just saying it's just a start.
I don't know, bro.
It's a start. You're gonna have 1 year where Bowers your guy. You're gonna have struggles on offense, but you'll build. And then the year after, then you get your receiver. But you got to get the line first. Nothing will matter beyond that if you don't do that first.
Yeah, set the foundation. I get it.
The Eagles when the Eagles started out with when the Eagles started out with McNabb, they just had Chad Lewis. We had a bunch of guys at wide receiver who were tough to watch. But you had to go through that first year. You got the line right first, and then he put receivers eventually around McNabb. Sooner, later rather than sooner, but at some point he got there. But you had to get the line first.
Y'all had the people's champ at one point.
Yeah, Fred X, man. Always on time, baby. Fred X, baby. Fred X, baby. Yeah. He was doing discount double check before A-Rod,
He started feeling himself too much. He got rid of him. Like, all right, Fred, you doing too much. Like, you acting like you that bull for real. Like, all right, dog, like relax.
But he had to thank these
Pump your
hands
brakes,
though.
Fred.
He had to thank God for blessing him with those hands. He had to do that. Yeah, good times.
Yo, 39. Since we traded with the Browns, right? We traded away our 12th and our 20th to move up to the 6th spot to get the 6th pick overall, and we got the Browns 39th pick, and we pick up this kid Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. I don't know much about him, but for Mel Kiper to have this draft in this kid, he must have been doing something right. But I don't like his division either, bro. Like San Diego State, bro. Nasty.
I don't know. They must have just liked what they seen at the combine. I don't know. I mean, I told you I don't like this draft. I flat out just don't like it. I don't think nobody's gonna come out of this draft that's gonna do shit. Honestly. And Mendoza.
What's up, Thomas?
Talk to us.
Yo, Tom.
Yo, I just don't this draft, yo. I swear, anybody who comes out of this draft is not gonna make an immediate impact, yo. I just know it's not gonna happen.
No
understand
one.
where you coming from.
I swear, yo. Like maybe
I get what
Argo
you're saying.
Reese,
I get
I
what
mean?
you're saying. Like not like to the extent we seen with
I
like
swear
Will
it's gonna
Anderson and
take-
stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to take at least mid-season before somebody makes an extreme impact, yo. Like, I just don't see anybody coming. I don't see anybody in this draft getting drafted and immediately changing the defense.
Sonny Styles. I'm not saying he's a Cowboys fan, but come on, Cowboys fan, but Sonny Styles.
I don't think he's going to make an immediate impact. Like, an immediate impact to where people will have to game plan for this guy. I don't think anybody like to actually game plan for him. I don't think so. I think he'll be there. I think he'll be there, but I don't think he's gonna make an immediate impact.
Not Sonny Styles. I'm talking about like the other guys, like number 2, number 3, Arvell Reese, David Bailey. Those guys.
I think it'll take to at least mid-season. I really do, yo. I really do.
But
like, and if you look at some of the tape on some of these guys, they don't even. I mean, I don't see that pure NFL dominance. I see college dominance. I don't see pure NFL dominance in a lot of these guys.
Ruben Bain
We'll
Jr.
see though.
Like, although his arm length is ridiculous, it's kind of small compared to he doesn't fit the purpose of the edge, but nevertheless, like he's bending them corners, bro. Like, you see how low he's getting?
I see it, but he'll get picked up. He'll get picked up on the corner. Somebody,
I'm sure. It's definitely a transition. Yeah, I
that's what I'm saying.
That.
I don't think anybody's gonna make an immediate impact. Like we're in the past drafts, you've had guys that got drafted and immediately they just come in and do work. Like this, it's just an immediate.
So you don't see a Willie Anderson, you don't see a Micah Parsons in this draft at all?
Hell no. Not a chance. A Micah Parsons in this draft? No, sir. Maybe in 3 years.
A TJ Watt?
3 years.
None of those
Maybe
players
somebody
are in this
comes out
draft
for
right
years.
now.
No, not immediate. Like I said, not immediate impact players, yo. Like it'll be 3 years.
I mean, you say mid-season, but mid-season is still immediate. I mean, it's not week 1, but it's still immediate impact.
I mean, but a lot of these teams need a week 1. Miami Dolphins need a week 1. Arizona Cardinals need a week 1. The Las Vegas Raiders need a week 1. And obviously, we know that the Raiders just picked up the quarterback. Slip on my mind. We've been
no. You should remember this one. Come on, Dodgers fan. You just said it.
Yeah, Cousins for an exorbitant amount of money, but he actually won't get paid it. Yeah. So they just picked up Cousins. You know what I mean? The stat king. They picked up the stat king. So he'll come in there and get them fantastic stats and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins his career is over, bro. It's a wrap.
Yeah, sure. He patented his stats though. He got Hall of Fame.
That
stats,
dude's
though.
gonna
You
go
know
off
that.
in Las Vegas.
He
That's
got Hall of Fame
this is
stats.
exact worst spot for him to sign at. He's gonna be partying every night. You know that. He ain't never gonna show up for a game. He don't have
Cousins,
to.
That's not his style. That's not his style.
Yeah.
He not gonna be partying. He gonna come in like a professional. He's gonna do what he do. He's gonna get his numbers.
Chill with his family. You ever saw the that show on Netflix? The quarterback.
I know. I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious. You know the memes with him wearing the gold chains and all that stuff. But he's just showing in there to get the bag. He gonna go in there, get the bag, throw 5 interceptions a game, and he gonna go home to his family and enjoy his time out there, man. So
but he gonna throw for high numbers, man. Big numbers.
By the fire.
Yeah.
This guy, man, he 300 plus yards a game. Now I'm not saying that the 300 yards mean anything, but he's gonna do that. You know, and I'm like saying, Mendoza doesn't do anything this year. I don't even know if he really plays this year.
I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be the same because he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even really do that with Atlanta, and they have wide receivers, Drake London and those guys, and you know what I'm saying, like,
yeah, he's not. He's doing nothing.
And the Raiders don't have no one other than Brock Bowers, so I don't think he's doing that at all.
Like this draft is brutal. This is a brutal draft.
It's not a bad draft.
It's not a bad draft. It's an average draft. Is what I think. Moreover, is the issue.
I'm kind of leaning towards
average.
I think you just said it right there. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just average, right? Because, like I said, you don't have, like, for instance, Mekhi Lemon out of USC. Decent. He's a good wide receiver, but he's not shutting anything down.
Yeah, but I think offensively is average. I think this defense has a lot of good prospects that can actually make the team better. You know what I'm saying? Especially the top 10 picks.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Arvell, I don't know about 2-3 years. I think Caleb Downs is not a 2-3 year player. I think he's an immediate day one guy. Caleb Downs. Even Mansour Delane, who's outside the top 10.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think they'll be good players in the future. I just don't think they come in. And I could be wrong. It's not like I'm up here saying that I'm going to be right about everything. I just don't see this draft class being one that we look back in the future and say, oh, yeah, that was that class. It's not. It's not at all.
Okay.
You know, it's just not. It's an average draft class with guys who could be good. They're going to have to work. They're going to have to work. There's no red carpet laid out for anybody in this draft class. I'll tell you that. It's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's an average draft class, and I mean, the draft is in Pittsburgh. I don't know what else to say.
Ill. The draft is in Pittsburgh. Ill.
I'm just saying, yo. It's just overall an average draft, yo.
Wow.
All right.
Yo, Pittsburgh fans, whether it be the Pirates, Penguins, or Steelers, you gotta excuse my friend Tom today. He was on one. He's arguing with Stan, talking about Bryce Harper is trash. Say no, he didn't say that.
But get the job done. I ain't say the man was trash. I say he's not gonna get the job done.
He didn't say that.
No, listen.
He didn't say that.
Pittsburgh is
but he was in rare form today.
Pittsburgh's a beautiful city.
I've been to Pittsburgh.
It really is.
I'm about to go to college out there. It was fun.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful city. It's just also an average city. You know what I mean? It's not like anybody has ever looked where I'm going to go on vacation this year. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Black and yellow, black and yellow. I mean, you can say it about a lot of places though. No one vacations in Philly. Sure. No one vacations in Philly.
Yeah.
No one vacations in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but people will go to Philadelphia. You understand? There's a draw there to see the Liberty Bell.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
there's a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I get
draw. There's you know what I mean? Like, for instance, like, yeah, there's other places to go in Texas, but people will go to Dallas. People go to San Antonio.
People go to Houston for sure.
People definitely go to Houston. Obviously,
they was wild in Houston a few weeks ago.
That was something else.
Man.
That was
Rodeo.
it. They was wild on Houston a couple weeks ago.
Man.
Oh,
So
man.
it just, I don't know, man. Pittsburgh. You put the draft in Pittsburgh. I think the NFL knows too. This ain't one of them rock star drafts. They knew it. Put it in Pittsburgh. They'll love it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't got nothing to add to that, man.
Yeah, I mean it's just the average draft, man. And you know what? Somebody will come out of this draft, like a Mansour Delane. He might come out and be a rock star, or what's it like Mendoza? He may, you know what I mean, in 3 years. This guy
And
may
kind of
be
to your point,
untouchable,
kind of to your
stuff
point,
like that. But
Mendoza, he's been hyped up. Maybe he proves me wrong, but I don't. There's nothing about him where it's like, oh, that's Peyton Manning 2.0 coming out. He has to be. Like before that magical run he had, he wasn't even on the radar before that. Before that
Right.
perfect year at Indiana.
that's what I mean.
So
Yeah.
what was that really him, or was that a flash in the pan? And are there still these details that need to be cleaned up before he becomes good at the next level? And if they don't get cleaned up, or if he's lacking certain skills, is he going to be able to be the guy that takes the Raiders to the Super Bowl? Like that's a big ask for a guy that only had 1 year of tape. So we'll see.
Correct. That's what I mean. Even like a Sonny Styles jumps up. You know, this guy probably would have got drafted outside of the top 10, has a great combine, and all of a sudden now we're looking at this guy getting drafted top 5. My thing is, a good combine always doesn't result into actual domination in the National Football League. And that's where my mindset's at with this draft. Somebody will be good out of this draft eventually, but not immediately, man. They gonna get there and they gonna realize, oh shit, I'm playing amongst men now. It's a different game.
Yeah, I get it. But my fault, fellas. I had to transition to a different platform. But
All good.
But yeah.
It's all right.
But listen, we talked about a lot, bro. Well, most of it was about baseball and Bryce Harper. But hey, listen. Where do we go from here as far as when you talk about how average this draft class is? So you're saying that these players are developmental players, and these guys are gonna. I just find it hard to believe, though. You know what I'm saying?
I think more so what he's
Why?
saying, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's not that the draft class is bad. It's just that one, it's top heavy. The top talent is all bunched up in the top 5, maybe top 10 picks in a way that is not as deep as other draft classes. And then even the top players in this draft class, maybe 1 or 2 of them, like Caleb Downs, is really going to make a splash, but you're not going to have drafts where you have like 5, 6, 7 players that come in and are just impact guys. So that's the way I see it, without having really done my due diligence into the players. But I don't see a lot of the names popping out. Like when I'm just sitting around just browsing, I don't see names on TV pop up and say, oh, these are the 5, 6, 7 guys that are going to change the league this year, like I have in past years. Doesn't mean that they won't be good, but some of these players may take time to bake the cake. The cake may not be ready made for a lot of these players coming out of college for this year's draft. But it doesn't necessarily mean that overall the talent as a whole is necessarily bad. I just think that there have been weak drafts. I don't think it's a weak draft. I think it's probably middle of the pack, but it's getting hyped up as if it's more than what it is, possibly.
Yeah, I just think it's Mendoza. Honestly, I think Mendoza's just the one who's carrying this whole draft, right? So you got this one guy that just won the national championship, and he's coming out, and they're like, okay, yeah, cool, Mendoza, but it's not a deep draft like Stan just said. And like honestly, you think really Caleb Downs is gonna be a shutdown safety year one?
I think he might.
I mean,
He might be the one player.
I mean, yeah,
He might be the one player.
He's not your typical safety, bro. He's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he can cover, he can play box. He's definitely an impact. I don't think that front seven of that Ohio State defense doesn't do anything if not for Caleb Downs and what he's been doing in the field. He can track the ball. You know what I'm saying? He bro. I hear you. I hear y'all, but I don't know about saying that it's not deep. I think it's a deep defensive draft. There are a lot of good players, you know what I'm saying? Even
I can agree with that part.
Are not going I don't there are a lot of good players that are not going to go in the first round simply the fact that there's just better players in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
And I just don't know enough about the other players either. Top heavy, I think you're kind of right about defense, but beyond that, I just don't know about some of the second round guys that maybe like I knew about Cooper DeJean in the other year, but I wouldn't know about Cooper DeJean this year. So maybe you're right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna watch. I'm gonna enjoy it because like, especially for teams like mine, like that were lacking, defense. We were like bottom two of defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just anyone on this daggone draft is gonna make our team better, bro. Whether it be an edge or middle linebacker, like it's gonna be better than what we had. And then on top of that, with the acquisitions that we're getting with Chris Parker and his coaching staff he's putting together, I see great things happening for his defense. It's trajectory-wise. You feel me? So
I mean, but the Cowboys already had a pretty solid defense, though.
Who?
I mean, they was. I mean, they had some Swiss cheese moments.
Hey!
It was a decent
defense. Think first.
It was decent.
Tom,
you know that defense is. You know that defense.
Tom,
man.
We were god awful, bro. We were one of the highest scoring offenses in the entire league, if not the highest scoring offense in the entire league, and we lost games. You understand?
Let me just check the points again.
Whatever you go looking for, you're not gonna find it, bro.
Tom, bro, we suck.
I'm checking the points against. I just want to see what was your defense?
Dog, we were trash.
This could be bad.
We were trash, bro. Listen, Thomas, look at me.
I was trying to be cool.
No, Thomas, look at me.
Let me see.
I'm telling you, we were garbage on defense, bro. I'm telling you, we were that bad. We were disgusting. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Historically bad.
Historically bad. That's
terrible, bro.
Yeah.
We were bad, bro. We got into a freaking gun. We got freaking Jacoby Brissett killed us. We lost to the Cardinals, bro.
I forgot about that, John. That's crazy.
Yeah, like we lost to the Cardinals. Freaking, we got into a shootout with the old boy. With what's the boy name? Russell Wilson. He looking like prime Russ, but like he's back in Seattle. Every wide receiver from the Giants was catching on us, bro.
Oh yeah, y'all are really bad.
See, I told you, we sucked. We sucked, dog.
This is bad. I ain't watched not one Cowboys game all year. I really don't care.
But listen, but I'm telling you, like we were garbage. Why would I lie about us being garbage or exaggerate us being garbage?
You're not. But I thought y'all were better than
Heck
this.
no.
Oh God.
We were just see. Oh God, where the toilet paper at? Yes, we need toilet paper. You understand me? To wipe.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that answers that.
I see why you like this draft so much.
I told you, like, yo, any person we get, it's gonna make our team better, bro. Like, and I'm
it's all about perspective.
I'm not in. And
that's it.
Kenneth Murray was so. Two things. First of all, our defensive coordinator was the worst I think we ever had. And then just our positions at line, especially the linebacker position in our secondary. My God, Kenneth Murray cannot fill gaps at all. He's shooting the wrong gaps, and they're running right past him because he doesn't know where his scheme is. Maybe that's just our defensive coordinator make it complicated for him. I don't think it was really a complicated defense because obviously offense did whatever they wanted. But we just couldn't stop a nosebleed. We couldn't stop the run, and then we got better at stopping the run when we got Quentin Williams, and we got Quentin Williams to help out, right? Then everybody started throwing on us because the years you're thinking about, Tom, is when we had the Micah Parsons and stuff like that, and we got teams in like one situations where they had to pass the ball. That's when our defense ate. That's when our pass rush got to the quarterback. But to counter that, what they did was they ran the ball because we couldn't stop the run at all. That's been that way for like the past 6 years. But now, this year, we couldn't stop the run, and we couldn't stop the pass. Then we eventually stopped the run, and we couldn't stop the pass. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But next week, next week's the draft, bro. I'm excited. I'm not. What you guys thinking about doing? Well, I don't know. We gotta see what time permits. I know we got lives going on, but I would actually like to do a show during the draft, but maybe not. I don't know, but we'll see.
We might be able to get into it because I knew the Cowboys were struggling last year, and your boy Dak was trying to carry the team. Which a guy who can't carry the team. We're not going to talk about that right now.
Cool.
But what I will say is, What
do you mean? We had the highest score. We had the highest scoring offense in the entire league.
Yeah, I understand. This is Bryce Harper all over again. But what the problem is still here and there. Dak could throw for a lot of yardage, but he can't lead the team. And that's just back to the same thing again. Stan. It is what it is. I'm not going to
he wants to fight, dog.
I don't want to do
He
this.
wants to fight.
I don't want to do this.
He just wants to fight.
I didn't know your team.
He's fighting with you now. He's fighting with me.
Was this bad?
You just gotta let him go. You have to let him go. You can't stop the train when it starts going.
The defense was this bad. I thought the defense was middle of the road, and clearly they're one of the last teams defense in the NFL.
If
allowed
not
377 yards against them. Which is horrible.
So if not,
that's a lot of yards.
So if not for Dak Prescott, you know what I'm saying, and company, and actually think about it, CeeDee Lamb, some of those games he was even playing. So we had George Pickens going crazy. Yeah. So I can't wait. I can't wait till we have both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens for a full season together.
You'll maybe have a defense this year, but hopefully. Once again, like I said, this draft really isn't a draft that.
I'm just interested.
I see an immediate impact players.
I'm just interested what Christian Parker does. But
maybe.
But yo, fellas, this has been a very eventful episode 7.
Yeah.
We even get a chance to talk about the things we want to talk about because Thomas wanted to argue about Bryce Harper. But it's all good. It's good stuff. I watched.
I mean, he's just not leading the team.
It's all right.
Listen. So you can see I'm passionate about it. Because I really do love the Phillies. Like, I'm really, you know what I mean, Philly fan at heart.
Stan, get him.
And I love the Phillies.
Get him, Stan.
But so the passion behind it comes from the fact that I watched what Bryce did in Washington, right? We all saw it. They was on the precipice of winning a national championship even when Bryce was there. But when he leaves, and then I remember the interview when after they won the national championship, smug-ass Bryce Harper was sitting there like, yeah, they won the national championship, but, basically it was because of me. That's a summary of that interview that he did. Like, that's Bryce Harper through and through. That's who he is. And so I don't see him winning on the Phillies because the simple fact, right, if you could put this in perspective of bottom 9, World Series, Game 7 to win the game. Man on third base. Closer comes in, is Bryce Harper, 2 outs, right? Bryce Harper not going to get you that single. He going to strike out. And we can end this conversation on that.
Bro, we ain't no end the conversation because you Dog. You're not gonna come out and say what you just said, and then we're gonna say end the conversation. Like this ain't a mic.
He's gonna strike
bro.
out.
This ain't a mic drop moment, dog. You're not gonna.
That was the mic drop.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
He's gonna strike out. He's gonna strike out.
All right. Sure.
There's so many situations where he has not struck out. If anything, he's not only delivered in the moment, but the runs that he put up had a direct effect on the game as measured by WPA. So no, you're incorrect.
Definitely not. Now we're gonna end the show. Anyway, episode 12. Hold on, we end the show now, Tom. Listen.
Now we sounding like haters.
This episode.
Now we're sounding like haters. This is crazy. I haven't done nothing. This is the whole conversation, and now we're just going to end the conversation because of this. That's fine. Listen.
See, I let you say what you're going to say. I let it breathe, and it didn't hit the way you thought it was going, and then I had to close it out.
It definitely did hit. It definitely did hit, bro.
That's all.
Well, listen. Yo, this is episode 7, man. Jack of all trades podcast, bro. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm sorry, we're a little crazy, but this is what we do, man. You know, we're not scripted. We're not analysts. We're not journalists. We the guys. You feel me?
He said no.
Tom, I don't care what you say. This show is over. Peace.
Jack of all trades, I move how I move.